Endless gadget.
Yep, hopefully it was working. Let me reload this until it says I'm streaming on here. Is it working?
All
I
right, let me
am
know
now
when we're live.
streaming. Yes, cool. And what's guys just streaming? I should watch now. Okay, that's good. Let me ping Bishop in announcements. We are now live. If your PRs join the stream. Okay, I'll give a couple minutes for people to join.
All right.
Yeah.
Yo, your middle name's William? That's sick.
Wait, why is that on here?
Because, my PowerPoint.
What? Shit. Well, I don't know how to fix it. I don't care. I don't know how to get rid of that.
Full screen it.
But if I full
Or
screen, I
can
can't
you
see
full
my
screen?
notes.
Oh shit.
You know what? I don't give
What
a
if you
fuck.
put your notes on your phone?
But I had the chat on my phone.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I don't give a shit if people know my.
We already know your name from the doc.
You
Yeah.
don't know my first and last name. I don't give a shit if you know my middle name. It does not matter.
Wait, that means you share a name with Indomitable Will.
Technically, I do. Let me pull up my channel so I can get this open, and then we turn off the sound on. Yep. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I have chat open on my phone now. Hello, Cowboy. Hello, Grim. Welcome.
Oh, it's my PDT children.
Welcome, guys. Yeah, I just have it up on my phone because it's kind of hard to keep an eye on everything if I have it open on my computer anyway.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, let me know how. Let me know how Kron's volume is. I can turn him down if need be. Yesterday I know we had a few audio. Not yesterday, Tuesday we had a few audio mixing issues. So just let me know if Kron is too loud or too quiet. We're both older than you.
Okay, but I have been playing Draft longer, and y'all are PDT kids, so I consider you my kids. Even though you both have taken games off of me, it's fine. Fuck off, Grim.
Oh my god. I like squeaky boy. That's a funny word.
Squeaky. Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah. We got. I'll give a few more minutes to let people join before we start. Like,
Nice.
delay 5 minutes, please. I'm eating soup. Where are you? Where are you, Kron?
What do you mean?
You were supposed to be at the soup store. God fucking damn it.
Oh god. Okay, I haven't thought about that in a long time.
We were talking about soup.
Yeah. Okay. If you love soup so much, why don't you marry it? Bottom text.
Hello, Cobra. Hello, Cobra. Sorry you can't see anything.
Hi, Cobra.
I almost said your real name, and I'm happy I stopped myself. That would have been bad.
Wait, his real name's not Cobra?
No, he's a Purdue Week person. I know his real name.
No, I know. Man, shout out that Purdue basketball team. They definitely didn't choke.
And then we got fucked very hard.
Yeah.
In the ass. It was not fun to watch.
Oh?
I went to bed with 10 minutes left on the clock because I did not want to watch it anymore.
Damn.
I was just like, fuck this. I'm done for the night.
We live in a society.
We do. Oh wait, for some reason when I'm looking at my phone it said 1 second. Okay, no, it was just a phone glitch. For some reason it seemed to only show what the hell? Like for anyone else, does it show only like on a quarter of the screen? Never mind, it's fixed. I don't know what my phone's being whack.
Okay, yeah, I think that's just a you thing.
My phone is just being dumb. I can see how fully blue. See, okay. I was gonna wait a few more minutes, but it's 7:30, so I guess we can get started if we want.
All right.
Hey, welcome everyone to BPL Season 11 Power Rankings Day 2. We'll be starting off with the Bishop Division, aka D4, and following up all 3 Super Admins will be here tonight. So first up we have Kron.
Hello, it's your boy.
Cobra, I cannot put it in full screen, so if I put it in full screen, I cannot see my notes, and that's really annoying. So no. Sorry. But no, I am not doing that. I know it's a
My
normal
notes
food
are on
group.
a sticky note.
That would have been smart, but I am not smart. But yeah,
Ah.
I'm not playing both games. Then I can't have to close it and open and check my notes. That's a pain in the ass. So deal with it.
Hi, Lou.
Hello, Lou. The fact that there's someone else who laughs like Kron scares me.
What do you mean?
Don't worry about it. Damn
Yeehaw.
it. I see.
Uh,
On board, I see. Anyway, let's get started with. Oh crap. Let's get started with number 16. We have Yazu, who I had near the bottom and Kron had at the bottom. So there's a
uh,
Terra Bundle, Drill, Big
there we go.
Fez, Incineroar, Eleki, Zarude, Hisuian Braviary, Gengar, stupid ass Duraludon, and Excelgar. This is a team.
Okay. Yeah, basically, like, my first, like, thought was, like, this is, like, a bunch of dudes. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of synergy here. Like, yeah, there are some pivots, that are nice to help get in your breakers, but it's also, like, your breakers kind of, like, overlap, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see
Like, and the hazard game it's just Excadrill.
and
And
Duraludon, which is not a real
no,
mon, but yeah,
Duraludon's a fake mon.
it is a fake mon.
Okay, Excelgar also exists, but it's like I can't remember the last time I've seen Excelgar do something in a draft game
I wish
other
it
than
was
Final
good, but it's
Gambit.
not. It's not a good mon. It's cool though. It's a cool mon. He looks good.
Yeah.
Also, something you don't see on the slide here is that because I didn't include the points, but there are 4 points left over on this draft in an extra roster slot, which is
Uh,
in choice of all time.
I will say, I do think Aleki actually works here
I like Aleki
because
on this team. I
yeah,
agree.
the synergy with Bundle is pretty good as far as the ground types, as far as breaking waters. Zarude also kind of goes along with that trifecta.
Like you even have like Trick Ring Target Gengar, which could come up for
This is
Aleki.
V4, brother. I mean,
Good
yeah, it
point.
could come up. Um,
But yeah, with
but
that, the only viable rocker being Drill, as we mentioned, is kind of bad. Also, I just feel like points were used very poorly here. Sandwich Drill is not worth its price, and you have points left over, and you still, yeah, that just throws me off really badly.
um, and also like Incineroar feels very redundant here. I'm kind of an Incineroar hater in general, but it really sticks out like a sore thumb on this team, where it's just like, okay, but what is it actually checking here? Like, what
It's
is its
checking fire
purpose?
and ice types, so it doesn't fucking matter because it's still gonna die and get worn down because it's an Incineroar.
Yeah, it's like I would rather have like a second water type, like a
Yeah,
Vaporeon or something like that.
I agree. Incineroar's kind of superfluous.
I think one of the funny things I noted was the team has a very polarizing relationship with fighting types. Half the team gets bodied by them, the other half is like a quad resist.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like there's no in between. I just think that's very funny.
Yeah.
But yeah,
One bet I noticed that Fezandipity is the only real like dragon check on this team, and a lot of dragons can push past Fezandipity real easily. I'm thinking like Chomp, thinking like Latios. Like this is
ooh,
not
yeah,
it's this thing is a reliable check to certain dragons, but other ones will just shred you because they have a secondary stab that just muscles past it.
yeah.
I don't know. I like this team has some really big holes, and like the fact that our points left over is really bad, and the fact that you drove out sand is just whack.
I don't like one of the things I factored into my ratings is how possible is it if the team has flaws, how easy would it be to fix this team? And if I'm being 100% honest, I don't really know where to start here.
Yeah,
Um, so I think it would take quite a bit of work. I mean, again, I think every team in this league can get wins.
I
Because
agree.
there are a lot of polarizing, tough to deal with Mons on this team. Like I do think
Terra
H
Bundle
Braviary kind
Terra
of,
Bundle
yeah, Terra
sometimes wins
Bundle,
games on its own. Like it's a crazy mon.
yeah. And I mean, H Braviary is like very strong. It has very good set diversity. It's just, you're just gonna need to put something together that can actually, I don't know, work. It'll be
I
tough.
like this team can win games, but it's gonna be really hard for him to do it. I'm not. I mean, I've never seen him play, so I can't say I'm confident or not that he can do it. It's in theory he can. It's just this is a really hard set of tools to work with to get those.
I will say, shout out this team being fast as hell, though. I think that's
For
very
200,
funny.
145, 136, my speed tuners are just like, holy fuck, this is so fast.
Yeah.
Like,
All
it's not the
right.
fastest team in any division. I remember there was one with like 7 mons over 100. I was like, what the fuck? But
Oh God.
they're fast. Anyway, on to 15th, we have Chelsea with the Tusk, the Mega Gardevoir, the Terra Raging Bolt, Rillaboom, Big Orpworm, Terra Gator. I tried this one, it sucks by the way. Crobat, Silvally, Spidops, and Grumpig. This
Um,
was my bottom team. It was Kron's pretty close to the bottom.
I think it was like 4th, yeah, 13th, yeah. My first note was this shit hurts my head. Mainly, it's very unorthodox in like you've got great breakers, but the problem is the lack of cleaning for me, I guess.
I guess
Like
it's
it's
like
like
Gator.
yeah,
Gator, I guess like if you get off a Calm Mind with Bolt or an SD with Rilla, you can like spam priority.
yeah, but it's very I don't know. The cleaners are very iffy. It's not. There's no scarfers. That was basically what I was trying to say. It's like no,
Oh
like
yeah,
Rillaboom kind of, but if
Scarf
your
Rust
Rillaboom is
is like a real
scarfing, then
thing, I guess.
but then you're not spinning, and then you're
Yeah.
gonna have to bring. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know.
Also, this team, outside the Crobat, this team is slow as balls, and Crobat, as
True.
good as it is, like it's not what I would want as my only fast mon on a team.
Yeah. Also, you're gonna have to run Silvally normal because you have no normal or dark. I guess
That's
Silvally
true.
dark as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I wrote Pult food.
Oh, this team is
So keep that
absolutely
in
Bolt
mind.
food. Yeah, because it resists all its priority too. Also, like
Yeah.
darks are an Urbit kind of by this team. Like, any dark type that's like special just pushes past Tusk, and just this team cries.
Hmm.
And
Um.
also team's super physical outside of, like Guardian Raging Bull, and while those are fine special mons, like I don't know, I feel like opponents can run a lot of Fizz Dev versus this team and kind of sit on most of it.
I think it's okay. I think the physical special balance is alright because I mean you could like nasty bat.
Oh yes,
Silvally's decently mixed.
I've seen special
I
gear
think
buff a
yeah,
couple times. It's fair.
that's okay. I'm glad you've seen that.
Um,
I have not.
this team hates
Uh,
T-spikes with a fucking passion because the poison type isn't grounded, and like everything hates being poisoned.
certified Crobat moment. Yeah.
Like guard, if it's poisoned, it just gets worn down so fast it doesn't ever recover. Tusk doesn't like wearing boots. Gator can't sweep with the taking chip every turn. Bolt really fucking hates getting poisoned. Like I think T Spike's kind of just buy his entire team. Unless you
Yeah,
get
just a lack
fucking
of
hard as their setup.
sustainability, I think, like kind of contributes to a lot of that as well. Making the T spikes problem more intense is the lack of recovery.
Yeah,
Unless
or
you're
the
running that wish.
Rillaboom helps, but like that's about it.
Yeah, but so now you're taking 6% from poison instead of
Which isn't ideal.
12. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This team like it's mostly got good mons is the thing.
Yeah.
I just
It's
don't think
very
they
strong offensively.
like the mons themselves are all like fine. I just don't think they synergize at all.
Yeah.
I guess like Tusk Guard is like a decent pairing, but outside of those, and I guess Tusk Guard Bolt kind of all work together. After that, I don't really get the whole idea of the team.
Yeah.
I will say Terra Bolt is broken though, and that is definitely Nidus. You were not 16th. Welcome by the way. But anyway, yeah, Bolt Terra Bolt will win some games on its own. That mon is stupid.
I'm not a Bolt believer, but I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do with it.
I was supposed to play one on Wi-Fi today, and then the person's wedding photographer got COVID and had to deal with it. So I will be playing that on Monday, but I am not looking forward to it.
Okay. Looks like Ice Child Braun has devoured their soup for dinner, and we are not restarting PRs for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
J 16th was Iazu with the Terrabundo drill team. Yeah. Hey, so that's Chelsea. I mean, good mons just don't work together really that well.
Yeah.
That's about it, and just some kind of gaping holes. Also, why is there a Grumpig on my screen?
Grumpig in the year 2024, imagine.
That is a Grumpig. I don't understand why it's there, but it's there for some reason. Yeah, nice. Yazoo was 16th. This will move. It's an ice resist, okay, but like Orpworm. I mean, I don't know. Just running an ice resistance so Valley in that case. Don't run fucking Grumpig.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to 14th. We have Jackson, my boy Jackson, who I had pretty low, and Kron had almost entirely at the bottom. This is such a
This
weird fucking team. It's Coco Medi, which is of course a classic. I like Levi with that pairing.
the Gen
And then
7
most, and
special.
then it kind of falls off with Ogre from Spring, with Terra, Kron's baby, Iron Crown Terra,
Let's go,
Scarm,
Iron Crown!
Galvantula, Mantine, and Dedenne. Somehow I put this higher than you, despite me not liking Crown.
Okay, so here's my thing. Iron Crown is your only real special offense because like Coco base 95 is not really cutting it these days as a special attacker,
I
in my
disagree.
opinion. Scarm, what is he doing here? He has no friends. He has no help.
No
He
friend.
just exists. E-Terrain hurts this team more than helps it. Like,
Sorry, one thing. Nidus, am I the one who's loud or is Crown the one who's loud? Sorry, let's just pause for a second so I can fix the audio level.
yeah, okay.
Which one of us is loud? I assume it's Kron because I'm using desktop audio because my earbuds won't fucking work. Yeah.
Okay, I'm loud.
Let me
All
turn
right.
Kron down a bit. Let me just I don't know, just try here. Wait.
Uh,
Is this
I
better?
mean that's yeah.
Is
That's
this
basically
better
what I
now?
was saying, Frosty. How it's like,
Cool, thank you.
oh, Iron Crown is basically your only special attacker. And it just feels like there's not a whole lot of synergy with that. Yeah, the last note I wrote for this team is Aleki Wet Dream because there is no ground types.
On a
It
terrain
loves
on an
electric
electric
terrain.
terrain team is that's my
Yeah,
biggest thing on this team is like when you're drafting Coco, you have to have a ground type or opposing electrics will run for you. And this team does not fix that weakness at all.
and I mean screens for Medi is great. Screens for Crown is good. I think Terra Ogrepon can definitely fuck up opposing ground types.
It's a fine top six. It's just like there's a lot of holes that it has that can't really be fixed very easily.
And yeah, all three bottom-ons are fucking garbage. I'm
I
sorry.
appreciate the Skarmory Mantine counterpart from Johto vibe being together, but no.
Yeah. No,
Also
I
like
just
yeah, that Skarmory's the only rocker. And while it's a great one, like I don't know, I feel like you would rather have something to accompany it. Also,
yeah.
not only is this team super weak to electric, physical fire types destroy this team so
Oh, dude,
badly.
Infernape eats. Yeah.
Infernape beats Heartflame, eats
Oh God,
any Mon
Hearthflame.
quicking Flare Blitz, eats.
Uh,
T spikes aren't like that big, but like Wellspring can't hold boots, that's kind of annoying. Many can't hold boots, they're kind of annoying. Like this team isn't that weak to T spikes, but the mons that can't hold them would have appreciated poison on here.
wait. Oh my God, Hearthflame didn't get. Wait, did it really not get
Did Heartflame
drafted
not get drafted in this division?
in Bishop?
I don't have the doc open, but
I do, and yep, there it is on the board. What the
wow.
hell, Bishop? What the hell, guys?
That's an interesting choice. I get that Terran's
Okay.
not as good, but I still think it should be drafted.
I
Anyway,
still, I think it's broken, but that's just my
I
personal
don't think
opinion.
it's broken without Terra. I think with Terra it's stupid.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of offense here. There's a lot of strong. If you're in advantage state, you're fucking shit up. Like I think this Metacham is definitely still kind of slept on a little bit in
I think
Gen 9.
Metacham's fine this gen. It's solid
Um,
for what it is.
I think it's very good. And I definitely think you're gonna get some good kills here. If you just get caught in the back foot, though, it's gonna be tough to get anywhere.
Also, this is another team, and I think we're gonna see a lot of these. But Ghosts again kind of smoke this team.
Shout out Pursuit Weevil though.
You do have Pursuit Weavile, but you have to sack something to get it in.
Just yeah, Volt Switch
So
on them.
enjoy losing a mon to every ghost, and then they have a Colbur Berry, and you pursue them, and you break the Colbur Berry, and then you lose a second mon to the ghost, and then you pursue them again, and then you're down 6, and then you're down 5-4, and you cry.
Yeah, well, gaming.
Gaming.
Um,
Yeah, let's move on to 13th then. I do appreciate the Danny pick. That is very funny.
that's a word for it.
We at 13th we do have Corey, who I had pretty close to the middle, and Kron had very towards the bottom. With the Terra Annihilate, Big Gouging Fire, Mega Venu, Primarina, Quadsire, Terra Jugulus, Scissor, Roman Frost, and Cinchino. So I don't know. I like this team. I don't think it's great, but I like it because I love Terra Annihilate. But like, God, this team's slow. Like, holy shit, it's slow.
Yeah.
Like, you're capping at 115, and Cinchino is not coming very often, which means like you're mainly revenging anything is like BP Scissor and like I guess Booster Jugulus or Scarf on that. Um,
Yeah. I,
Venu Quad is a really fucking weird combination, and Quad being the
yeah.
only rocker that wants to run it is not ideal, but you don't want to be running rocks on your Terra Annihilate.
Yeah. Um so my biggest beef with this team is no immediate power here. Pretty much everything needs to set up outside of Primarina and maybe
Jugulus.
Jug.
Jug
However, Jugulus is a fake mon. I do not respect it. And I
Kane's
know
fucking hurt though, I will admit that. But outside of that,
yes.
like it's terrible.
However, this means you're using Hurricane, which
True.
means you are putting the game into whatever deity you believe in hands, and you are not like you're basically turning over control of the game. But as we saw in Corey's game today, they are more than willing to run Blizzard on Rotom Frost and use it multiple times. So maybe that's just their vibe.
That's true.
Um, I will say on a more serious note, I don't love the clearance here.
Why did I say
Um,
like scissor? I think that's it. No, like
Scissor, Rotom, and
Cinchino.
Chinchino.
Cinchino gets
Um,
tidy up right.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just very it's all slow clearance. It's all mostly low tier clearance except for scissor. It means you're restricted on running your offensive scissor sets.
It also
I
kind of prevents your own hazard from staying up, which this team really wants to stay up.
but yeah, T spikes I guess. Also, how the fuck round 7 scissor? But
That's a
anyways,
good pickup. Yeah, in that pitch,
uh
round seven scissors like insane. I agree with that.
yeah. Okay, but my biggest thing is this team hates encore. Hates
Oh,
encore.
for sure.
Hates encore because you have so it's all like setup sweepers or bulky tanks that are going back and forth between recovery and status. Like
Encore
your
does
bulk up.
destroy this team. I
Yeah,
feel like versus a good player, you go want to run like multiple mental herbs on this team to get anywhere.
yeah, it's just something to keep in mind in the prep, especially because encore is so prevalent in Gen 9.
Yep.
Um, but I mean, anything's possible. I will say, Mega Venusaur, what a fuck! It's such an under. What am I trying to say? It's a slept-on menace. Just because it's so thick and hits so hard. Maybe that's just me. Gouging
Uh,
Fire can win games on its own.
yeah.
Um,
Grim, I do not think Primarina gets trick. One thing I did notice is that flying types are kind of aids for this team. Like
True.
Rotom Frost is the only real answer, and I
That's
guess
your
that
only
has
switch in.
Pain Split,
Yeah.
and like it's fine, but it gets worn down, and then you're forced to Pain Split, which isn't reliable. Like just is you're forced to bring this stupid refrigerator versus flying types, and that's not a good situation to be in.
Or I guess like a Terra Electric, Terra Steel Annihilate.
Yeah, which is like fine, but like those
Yeah.
aren't real. Terra Steel's not bad. I've used a lot of Annihilate, but Electric has never come up. But like I guess it could theoretically.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of like that first four in Scissor have a lot of solid ideas. I just think I'd rather see like a better Fastmon,
Then
or
Cinchino, yeah.
yeah, or
I
just
think
a little like a wall breaker or
yeah, I
something.
think those five are a really solid core. I think as you said, the mods around it just aren't great.
Yeah, like I'd love to see what am I thinking of? Like not Crocodile. I mean, Crocodile's good in theory. Maybe like a
I mean, Crook over Claude, I would like here, then drop the Jugulus for something else.
yeah, maybe. I mean, hey, if Tornty, I mean, Tornty's definitely not on the board, but if it
There's no
was,
shot Tortilla is on the fucking board.
well, this is Bishop.
Fair enough.
Okay, I'm seeing. Okay. Mega Aerodactyl would be kind of funny here.
Except he is Mega Venusaur.
Ah, shit, that's right. Okay. Why did we not do the two megas thing? We should have done the two megas.
Actually I think we did. I don't remember. It's not in the
Okay.
rules.
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
yeah. Either way, this team's definitely very fixable. It's just I think it's gonna run into a lot of issues over time when people are good at prepping for it.
I think
It can
once
probably get away with more shenanigans early on, but once people get it figured out, then it's gonna
I think
struggle.
after a couple games, people will catch on to what he's doing. Yeah, and like you say, it will just like kind of crumble at that point.
Yeah, but you got this, Corey.
I
You
mean,
have the
you did
one
really
thing
well
that,
last season. I have faith you can do it again. Just like this is definitely gonna be a hard team to pull off.
yeah.
Yep. On to 12, we have Nidus with Terra Zeraora, Terra Lando I, Pex, Bulu, Rachi, Basculegion, Cursula, which I always mispronounce. I always think it's just a Corsola. Mega Absol, Aggron, Maractus, and Pelipper, and we very much differed on this one because I hated this
Nope.
and Kron apparently liked it a lot.
Liked is not the word I would use. I think it's just very close to being like really good. Um,
I guess why don't you go first since you actually kind of like this team?
okay. Well, I gotta admit, it's very similar to something that I've used and drafted. Like, I also have Terrazera, Terralado Eye, and I love Bulurachi. Great combo. I don't want to out what your tech is here. I don't want everyone to know what your tech is, but needless to say, it's going to be a classic. I hope someone gets fucked up by it.
I know what you're talking
Pex,
about.
Pex is the beloved. We love that guy. Um, However, I kind of hate the bottom six. Like I get Rain works here. I do like Rain here. Um, and I think Basque Legion actually does kind of complement things pretty
I would agree
well.
with that.
I just wish that I wish that the Cursula through Maractus wasn't on the team.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
like okay, genuinely, what the hell are Cursula and Aggron doing? I get Maractus
Cursula
is a
is
mass.
trying to quick Shadow Ball once versus the teams with no Ghost
You
Resist.
have Legion,
But
and okay,
Legion's a physical. I mean, I guess you can run Special Legion. I don't know, whatever.
I mean, okay, but why do you? Yeah,
Okay,
I
apparently
guess,
Maractus is a mascot pick. Fair enough.
and that's why. Yeah, I was gonna get to that. It's a mask. It's a bad mascot, but it's a mascot. And I don't know. I just don't respect the Aggron or the Cursula. I think you could use a nice normal instead. Um, Maybe a I don't know, like a Licky Licky or
Kron
hell, even
mentioning
a
Licky Licky counter. How many times can we do
yeah,
it tonight?
yup, get used to that. Um, just because like Jirachi always likes another wish user with it, in my
Yeah, that's true.
opinion. Like a Blissey or Umbreon or something, just so it can actually use like Calm Mindsets or just not be forced into that wish roll. But I think this team has a lot of great potential. I really do like it. I mean, hell, I am a Mega Absol hater, but I did see how you used it today. I think you can utilize it pretty all right. And I mean, personally, I would do something different, but I think Mega Absol can stay. Just utilize your bottom points a little bit better, and
Yeah,
you can really get a lot out of this team. I like what you have here. I do think Bulu works here pretty well.
it is a good
Which,
Bulu team, which is not something I say very often. But
yeah, no, I
even
like
though
what
it's a
you
good
can
Bulu
do
team, it's
here.
still a Bulu team.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Anyway, I'll get started on things. I think we overpriced Lando. I think we super overpriced
Oh,
Lando,
we 100% did. I wish I
and I
didn't get it
don't
for
think it
19.
was worth the payment. I think it's a huge overpay. Mega
I agree.
insert the Mega Absol is the worst Pokemon in draft week copy pasta here. I know he got 2 kills today. I still don't respect it.
I don't either, but
Um,
I
also like
don't. Yeah.
another thing is like if I look at like any like Fat Montarian to Dragon kind of sits on this entire team and you cry is something I noticed.
Oh yeah, they can't really kill
You
dragons very
can't.
well,
That's
huh?
another. That's like usually like any just fat. Like I'm thinking like a Terra Dragon Annihilate sits here and just kills the entire team in Rage Fist.
I
It just does whatever the
mean,
fuck it
there's
wants.
Coal Mine Lando. You've got set up
Call Mine Lando
Zera.
is. I suppose. I know. There's just some.
Alamut does not sit. Alamut gets choice band plasma fisted. Like I don't know what you mean.
Offensive
Um,
darks are really scary because like Boo Boo's your only real check, and a lot of them get coverage for it.
Darks. Yeah, I could see like a low tier fighting being good here as
Low
well
tier
in
fight.
place of a
Yeah, I
normal.
really wish there was a low tier fight on this team. I think that would solve a lot of the issues
Yo,
actually.
Girder would be kind of
Girder would be
nice.
hot on this team.
How
Girder
much
would
is
be hot.
Girder? Or it's
There's
free.
another team week to go, so I know it's Mega Absol, but again, with the Weavile, it's not switching in, so you have to sack something, and then they're Colbert, and you have to sack something else, then you're sad. So I don't respect it.
Uh, Gir-
Um, I I kind of get what you're doing with the rain.
oh, that's
I
4 points.
get
You
it
can get that easily.
theoretically. I don't love it on this team. I think it's fine, but like I feel like there's better ways you could have gone about it if you wanted to do it.
Yeah, that's true. I agree
And
with that.
Corsola, as somebody who tried a Corsola in one league once, it was terrible. I
Ursula's
regretted it
bad.
very heavily. And a regular Aggron is not Remon. And like the top five is fine. They synergize well, even if I think Lando is overpriced and I don't respect Boo very much. And like Mega Absol is, but like there's so the Mon quality on this team is so low is the problem for me. It feels like just I know it just feels like you could have done better. To
Eh,
be blunt, I feel like this team isn't bad, but I feel like there's so many ways with that top five you could have finished out the team amazingly and you just didn't, which is frustrating.
I don't know. I mean, I like the rain here, which I normally do hate rain, but yeah, I think like a low tier fighting, low tier normal would be a nice way to kind of round things out. I think it got carried by the fact that I think it's very fixable. So
I do
seven's
think there's
probably a
ways to
bit
fix
of
it.
an
You
over
keep that
tier,
top
but
five. You could even keep the Rain Core honestly and drop those other four and grab like
yeah,
actually viable mons. It would be a really solid team.
yeah.
Like you just got like I do think that with a few changes, this team can easily be a top team in the division. I just think at the moment it's really bad, but I think it's fixable for sure.
Cool. And you did mention you have a trade in mind. I
That's
mean,
good.
if you need it, sounds good.
Yeah, but don't rush it. Like usually we'll do a couple games work to get a feel of the team, see if it's working or not before you jump into making trades. Unless like a very obvious issue, or like you're looking at your schedule and you're seeing like, oh shit, I play this, I have no response, etc.
if you realize, hey, I'm never going to bring Cursula and Aggron, which you probably will realize, feel free to drop them.
I wish Cursula got Trick Room. If this thing got Trick Room, it would be such a cool offensive Trick Room Pokemon, but it doesn't.
It would still be.
It would be cool. It's like base 30 speed, Shallow Balls of 145 special attack, and like coverage out the walls. It would be cool, but it doesn't get
Yeah,
it,
but
so
it's
too bad.
frail as I don't know. I don't respect it.
Frosty Aggron is not coming to week one because week one has already been played.
Yep. Shout out Mega Absol killing a Gliscor though. We love
Mega
to see
Absol
that.
getting 2 kills was surprising.
I'm just
Um,
happy to see dead Gliscors.
yeah. We'll
Number
move
11.
on to number 11, I guess, which is Jay. And we both had this team pretty much in the middle, just it worked out in 11th because of how the averages worked out. This team is
Yeah.
wait, I think this is a big jump up from the previous teams, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Mega Galliard, Golden Go, Terra Bundy, Crook, Blastoise, Scolipede, Terra Arcanine, Decidueye, Kamala, and Glimmet. I'm a big fan of this overall. The one thing
Um.
I guess I'll start with the positives. Wade Golden Go is an amazing combination. Like that's a really nasty offensive core.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
Fundy pairs beautifully with them because it removes the flyings in the waters, which kind of can check those. So top tier really good. You got good support in Crook Blast. Like the rest of your support mounts are all very solid, and most of them can be run offensively as well. This team is like this is like the definition of a versatile team. Like every mod is like 4 sets, which is great.
Yeah. So my initial thoughts that had it a little lower for me, like I still think it's a good team. Like I said, I think the offensive core is great. I love a lot of the mons here. Um, I think like Endless has mentioned for previous teams, I think this is one of those teams that I mean, your top two being Ghost Week, like your mons that are coming every week being Ghost Week is kind of rough. But you also have like basically the best, if one of the best ghosts.
And he has
So
Crook Kamal, which are two of the best ghost chicks around.
Kamala is not really a real mon to me. But I get
Well,
it. I know
actually, no.
you
I
like
guess
it.
Spectre isn't legal, so Kamal's not as good because like Spectre's like
Yeah.
Kamal sits on that shit. But yeah,
But Crook is very good against ghosts. I do respect it. I love Crook.
Crook's great. Yeah,
That was kind of like not my main. I guess one of my main points was speed capping at 112
that's
is
my big thing. This team is I don't want to call it slow because it's got 3 solid fast mons, but like
yeah.
nothing that in that weak speed tier that would be really nice.
Like, I hate talking about it because Scolipede is my favorite Pokemon, but most of the struggles this team has revolve around how well you can pilot Scolipede.
I kind of agree with that. Yeah.
Like, like it is the crux of
Hello,
your
Jake.
hazard game. It's the crux of your speed. It is the crux of your anti-grass. Because I mean, I guess Arcanine exists. I don't know why Arcanine's here. Feels like a
I
weird inclusion to
I
me.
think it's fine here. I don't get why it's Terran.
Yeah. I guess hi Jake. Edgequake. Edgequake I feel like is something that hasn't been talked about a whole lot on other teams, but this team does like really not switch into it.
You need like a fat Blastoise or Decidueye, which they don't always want to be, and Blastoise gets worn
Yeah.
down, especially Decidueye can check a lot of them once or twice, but like, it does take a lot of damage. His def just isn't great.
It definitely hurts that like most of your defensive mons are starters or mons that otherwise just have kind of middling stats. You don't have any like raw defensive stats to help out. You're very dependent on type
That's true.
advantages switching in. So it's like any of those neutral hits are really going to add up and be hard to
Another
deal with.
yeah, another thing for me is that I don't think this always matters, but this is a team that I think really will appreciate a fairy type because like dragons kind of smoke you. Like Golden Goat does not check most dragons very well. It's a little flimsy. It is hit super effectively by ground and fire and dark and ghost, which all are very common coverage from those mons.
I mean, I
Like
think Terra Fairy Arcanine could come
Terraform
pretty
Arcanine could help,
frequently.
yeah. That could help a lot. But I think overall dragons are kind of an issue for this team.
Yeah,
And there's a
agreed.
lot of really strong dragons in that decks.
True.
Um at that end, the Elite Spear, like the only things really holding this back for me. I think the team overall is very, very solid. Like I
Hmm.
just think there's a couple things that could be improved. And
Yeah.
like a couple
I
yeah. I know team doesn't feel like a 11th place team for me just because of how the way the numbers worked out, but it's
we're
like
definitely getting
good.
into the better like not better teams but like really good, like pretty solid teams. I think.
Yeah, this is objectively I think just a good team. Like there's
Like
flaws,
I
but
would,
it's good.
yeah,
I would
I
happily
would
use
use this team.
this.
Yeah, me
Even
too.
though I hate
Me
Golden
too.
Gill with a passion, I would use this team.
Oh, I would drop Kamala, but I still like the team.
Well, I mean, Kamala's like 2 points. Who gives a shit about the Kamala?
I do.
Fair point.
I do. I do. Endless.
Fair enough. On that note, let's move on. 10th, we've got
All
we have
right.
Lou. Yeah, we would say let me get where's there he is. We have Lou, who I had towards the middle, cried a little bit lower. Both have Jerry in the middle though. So he has Terra Metal, Darkrai, Gliscor, Screamtail, Terra Raptor, Cerulege, Tentacruel, Hisui Mulligan, and Blissey.
Um,
I like this team a lot, but there's some things I
I'm
don't love
not
about
as
it.
big on it personally. I just get severe whiplash going back and forth between your offensive mons and your passive as hell mons. Like it feels like there is not a lot of in between, whether it's like this mon is just sitting there or this mon is breaking your ass open. Like it's not, I don't know,
I
it
do
feels
agree with that.
very like you're gonna have to be very on top of switching, on top of pivoting, like just to make sure you're not getting taken advantage of on those passive mons or getting walled,
And
with
we did
those.
kind of see that in the game today, where he kind of got just outplayed in some of those regards.
Yeah. Also, I feel like a lot of my, I mean, I don't know, I just don't really, I haven't seen H. Lilligant do a whole lot. I've kind of
I
wished
if it
that.
was Terra, if either the Lilligant or the Cerulege were Terra instead of the Staraptor, I would like this team infinitely more.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused why the Raptor was Terra because there's
I
no
don't
like
really
point
see the
limit on
purpose of that.
Terras.
Yeah, like Raptor is like
I
okay Terra Mom, it doesn't need it. Like I would rather give it to a Mon that abuses it better.
Yeah,
Um, one thing I noticed, like this team is extremely physical outside the Darkrai,
true.
and like helmets are super spammable versus this between
Oh
Melmetal,
yeah,
Cerulege, Lilligant, Raptor, like. And you're only, I guess, like what? Let me see, wait, I'm trying to remember what the I am. I guess you have like Tactical Blast, which are okay at getting rid of them, but helmets are
yeah.
very spammable here, which is not the best position to be in. Is it just
Yeah,
means
we
they're
saw the
bringing an
toxic
item
tech
that
skill ham
punishes like
on it.
5 of your mons at once, which is frustrating.
Yeah,
Um, I know. I do think the top four plus Sarah, like I think the Mons Art and Blissey fit pretty well together. I just wish he had a better Terra choice. That's like my one big gripe of the team is the poor
I
Terra
think
choices.
I think Blissy's good here. I like the Blissey Screamtail core.
It's
Um,
interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, because I'm also a Blissey. I like Blissey. I like Tentacruel. I like
Yeah.
those mons. I know Endless does not believe in Tentacruel. I get it.
I
Um,
have literally told you recently I just used Terra and I loved it. I told you this.
Wait, when did you say that?
I just used it in pack in like a no Terra Wi-Fi week. It was great.
Okay, well, I'm glad you liked it. Hell yeah,
I mean,
brother.
Flip Turn makes it
Um,
so much fucking better now. Oh my god, that
True.
changes his entire outlook.
Yeah, I do think I might have. Yeah, I think this is just kind of an uncomfortable team for me, but I definitely think you can pilot it really well. I wish my only thing, I guess the only other thing is I wish you had like another kind of cleaner. I mean, I guess Scarf Raptor can clean.
And Darkrai, like that's
Um,
about it. Yeah, I guess like
yeah,
I guess like what's it called? Victory Dance Low again. If you hit,
yeah, but then if you hit,
yeah,
um,
I don't love Lilligan on non-sun teams. When I used it, I did have it on non-sun, but like also I just had a bunch of points left over like way in the draft. I was like, this thing looks funny. I'll try it. Like it was okay, but it's not a mon that I think is great about Sun. Honestly.
I just realized this team is very thankful that she and Pal got banned.
Oh, thank yeah. GM. Well, I mean, you don't have to draft the GM Pow check when it's a band.
Exactly.
Also, Melmetal kind of sits on Pow. I'm pretty sure Melmetal takes like a Sacred Sword easily. I'm not sure if
Well,
he gets a
yeah.
banded one, but it definitely needs like 2 banded crunches. I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm hopeful if this room does, or if this team, it could run Trick Room. For like Melmetal, like Trick Room, Screamtail, Baton Pass into Melmetal. I
yeah,
think that could be kind of
That
funny.
works really well. I agree with that.
So I hope to see that.
The one other thing I noticed that Dark types kind of smoke this team, like offensively.
Oh, I did write that down. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like especially when your primary defense species Gliscor does not want to get knocked off early game at all. Like a strong offensive dark type getting in the early game can really cause problems.
Yeah.
Like if Melmetal gets a little chipped, look at a Weavile into this team. Like if Melmetal gets chipped down, Weavile just kind of smokes everything.
Yeah, it's like the lack of like Screamtail and Blissey are really gonna have to try hard to keep your offense alive because if they get worn down, they get cleaned up.
Yeah,
I
but
think that yeah,
I
that's how
think
we.
you're going as we kind of saw in today's game when once Screamtail and Blissey started getting low and couldn't wish up everything repeatedly, it became the team kind of crumbled.
Also,
But
yeah,
I think
yeah,
if he plays it a bit better than he did today, he can make this work just fine. I think it's a solid team, but like it
yeah,
definitely isn't like the best.
yeah. But still very, very doable. Very, very doable.
But please God, just like change your one of your terrors to Terra Hisuian well again, and downgrade something else to compensate for the point cost. Please, I beg of you. Terra Raptor's never gonna
Yeah.
do anything. Terra Sarlage actually looks insane on this team the more I look at it, but
Yeah, especially to kind of accentuate, be like that Terra fighting to kind of
Terra Fighting, Terra Fairy,
yeah.
honestly would still be kind of gross here. Yeah, I think this season's not bad. I think it just can be improved a bit, but it's fine.
Yeah.
On to our number 9, which is I think it's pronounced Xandrix. I could be wrong. That's how I'm gonna pronounce it because it's easy.
X
So
in DRX.
yeah, Shiyu, Slitherwing, Walking Wake, Torkoal, Terra Venusaur, Rabombi, Mamoswine, Bronzong, Pterodactyl, Dodrio, and Electros. I had this super low, Cronite pretty high. Cron, I'm go into about what you like about this team first.
It's because most of Bishop cannot fucking handle Terra Venusaur under
That's a fair
Sun.
point.
Um, and I just know that like weather offense is very overwhelming for a lot of the other teams. Even if it's not the best weather team, I think it's carried by okay, shut the fuck up, Grim. I'm not a weather enjoyer. I just simply see it. I see what it can do where it works. Like I said, this isn't the best weather team. It is definitely very, very sun reliant. I don't know why Mammoth is here.
It's okay.
Um,
Mamos. I feel like that's been with Mamoswine on every fucking team. It's like, why is there a Mamoswine here?
yeah. But I mean, shout out Knucklestack. Homeboy should probably never Terra in this context if you have Venusaur.
Yeah.
Just because Venusaur is so good this gen as a sweeper. Just physical, special. I love Rabombi. I think Rabombi should be your other Terramon, honestly,
Terra
because
Bombi
like
is solid. I was building a team for World Cup today in the team tour, and one of the builds I settled on that we were heavily considering had Terra Bombi on it just because of the way the points worked out. Because it was like 25-point cap for 2 captains. I think it's really solid.
but yeah, I think those top six can come very often. And I mean, it just depends on how well you pilot your weather. If you pilot your weather very well, if people don't bring tech against you, then you're just gonna do your straightforward game plan. I mean, my last note I said was like dog. What do you want me to say? It's good and boring and whatever.
Yeah,
You
fair.
got this.
I guess on my first thing is this team is too sun reliant in my opinion. Like every mon
Yeah,
needs sun to function outside like Mammal Swine, pretty much. Every offensive piece. Also, I am not a Terra Venusaur fan. It's fine, but like I don't get
really.
why you would ever Terra it when you have a Chi-Yu and a Walking Wake right there, or much stronger Terra options. I just feel like they chose Terras that are significantly worse than the options that they had available, and that really frustrates me because I'm a big harper on make the most use of the broken ass mechanic you can. And I
I
think
think Terravina is broken.
I have not seen it do anything, but I also have not seen it
Nothing
that
switches
often.
into Terrifier Weather Ball at +2.
Fair enough. I
Like
just have not seen this
genuinely,
thing that
it's
much to know. Also, once if the sun goes down, like your only fast mods were Bombi, really. Like I guess Wake, but like, if you're like booster speed, I guess.
yeah.
But without the sun up, there's a lot of fast mods that's gonna kind of run through this team, and it's gonna be hard to keep it up permanently. Especially when your removers are Torkoal and Rabombi, and Torkoal doesn't want to run boost because it wants to run Heat Rock here. It's necessitating the Heat Rock here for his team to function, and Rabombi does not want to run Defog. And yes, I know KHD ran Defog Rabombi this week, but shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I probably overrated this team a little bit.
I might have
It,
underrated it a
yeah,
bit as well, but like, I don't know. I like Sun this gen. I just don't think this is that such a greatly done Sun team, and I
yeah,
think
it's not perfect, but it's definitely strong enough.
base
Um,
tennis courts reference in chat. I won my Uber's tournament chip with tennis courts on my team. It did come like twice. It was goaded.
I don't think anybody drafted it, Grim.
I don't
Also,
think
when have
so,
you
but it's a
drafted
goaded
tennis courts,
mon.
Grim?
Um. Also, these are my thing, but I do kind of wish there was spice on this team, just because like your hazard pressure isn't great, and with this type of offense, especially of the pivoting of walking like and square wing, you really want spikes to just chip down everything super hard for Venus to clean up. I think that's a
Yeah,
bit of a wasted opportunity.
I think your bottom 5 could be
A lot better.
redone.
Bronzong
Yeah.
actually I think fits fine here. I like Bronzong here, to be honest.
I guess. I get
But the
yeah.
rest, I don't think Knuckle Stack's a very good mod in my opinion. I think it's like okay.
I love Knuckle Stack, just not here.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't think it's great. I don't know. It's like just the bottom is kind of weird. I like the top five as a core, but round two Slitherwing is also really fucking weird.
I'm not a Slitherwing believer, but apparently a lot of people are, and I'll get flamed if I
I
say
know. I
that too
drafted it
loudly.
in a king to try it. I have no idea if it will be good. I was just curious if it looked funny, but
Well, y'all have fun with it then.
it's
I
probably a
definitely
second.
yeah,
Probably a drop it like for I don't know something, but I don't know.
yeah.
I'm trying it. But yeah, like this seems like fine. It's a okay Sun team. It's a male recent. I just think we just had different opinions on like the Terra monsters, kind of what really separated it.
That's fair, yeah.
Hey, we are on the top half now, so let's go into 8. We have Knighton,
Woo!
who Crowd I both had towards the middle, but I had more towards the bottom middle. Yeah, at the top of the middle. So is Dragapult, Mega Scissor, Terra Iron Moth, Terra Kill, Wattrel, Donphan Fortress, Meloetta, Paldean Tauros, Aqua Breed, and Rotom Fan. This seems like quite solid. I mean, it's just a quintessential Pult pivot team. Like, that's what it is.
I fucking love it. Yeah, I really love those top 6, top 7. I think you have 2 great, Terra users in Kilowattrel and Iron Moth. Dragapult Scissor is just such a clean combo. I don't know why the fuck Tauros, Aqua was 9 points and why multiple people drafted it. That is an obscene overpay. Um,
I
but,
like this one. I
uh
disagree, but
I drafted composite Tauros for 7 points, and I feel like I still got robbed. Like,
fair enough.
I just don't get the hype. However, I love what you've got with your offense. I love the roles everyone has. I love the speed distribution. I love my biggest thing is that Donphan has so much pressure on it
Oh
because
yeah,
it's the entirety of your hazard game.
that's a huge thing I noted
Um,
is that Donovan not only is it the only rocker, also like setup spam is really strong to his team because outside like specifically Encore, Aurora, and Donovan, you don't really have much counterplay to it.
I mean, I think, but also this team's setting up alongside the setup.
I guess
Like,
I know. I feel like opposing just if I feel like if this team is on the back foot, it's gonna be really hard for it to get back off the back foot.
I guess, yeah. Um, I don't know. I do think the bottom 2 are a bit of a bummer. I don't know why the hell Ronan Fan is
I'm
here.
so confused on the Rotom fan. Also, I'm confused
Like,
on Moeta too. I guess it's like a ghost
I
resist. I
think
guess that's why it's
Mellow
here.
works. I think it works because like your other like special offense mons are,
Iron
they're
Moth,
faster,
Kilowattrel,
they're
Dragapult.
cleanery. I think having Meloetta as that hole puncher kind of lets you mix stuff up a
I
little
can say
bit.
that. Yeah, it's not a bad fit here.
Yeah, I like this team a lot. Except for the bottom 2, which I think you could redo as other things. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm not gonna say Vaporeon again. Um,
Yeah. I also picture his team for me is no dark, which I guess I know his team does have ghost and dark resist, so I can make up for that. But like, stored power psychics are a fucking issue here.
oh yeah, I did write that. Yeah.
Like Necro, just imagine like a bulky Necro or Muset just sitting here. If you don't have Encore or Aurora on Dompan, just sweeps your entire team and you are fucked.
And Liz, I don't know how to tell you this, but your baby did not get drafted in Bishop.
Which one, Necro?
Necro.
Someone needs to pick it up. That mod is broken.
Most people don't have the same view of Necro that you do.
I don't know why this mod is cracked as hell.
It's kind of just fine. Like, I don't know.
I think it's absurd, but anyway, I don't care. Necro can't Terra. It's just as good as it was last gen, if not better.
Um, okay, what could you replace? A different water, maybe, a different just 5 point mon, or however much Rotom fan is. Yeah,
Wrong
five.
fan should not be on this team yet. Also, I do kind
No,
of
he's
wish. I always say this because I just think the move's broken the ship. I do kind of wish there were spikes here because you have spin and you have good pivots. So like just being able to abuse that would be really nice. It's not like a necessity, but I think just it would have been a really nice addition to this team. Like drop Rowan Fan for a spiker and like this team shoots up immediately for me.
yeah. I'm trying to see what like spikers there are that are.
That's fair. Saying he was worried about Tusk into this team, which I guess is a valid matchup concern.
Um,
Tusk does kind of roll this team without the Rotom. I can see why.
yeah, kill. I mean,
But also, like, I
yeah,
feel like defensive Tauros can check that decently. Pretty sure Tauros gets
yeah.
two. I'd be surprised
I
if Tauros.
mean,
Yeah. Oh god, Overquit would be great on this team. Grandmaster. I really like Overcool here. I think
and
that'll be a
listen
good
his
pick.
Overquill. Yeah, I
That'll
think
be
Overquill and maybe like Avalug as well.
that would be a really solid. Yeah, just like gamer of the bomb too, and just figure something out. I think that would be solid.
Yeah.
I will admit on the bombs you probably do need to pick up another fire resist in place of the Tauros though, because like Iron Moth and Bolt are not switching into
Okay,
strong
true.
fires.
Okay, so not Avalug.
Yeah, I don't know. You can
Yo,
figure something out, but
Colossal
it seems
moment?
quite solid. Seems quite solid. I had a bit lower just because of those like minor things I think could have done better, but it's pretty good.
I mean, I think the top six are just so
The top six is
strong.
crazy for sure. I agree.
Yeah,
Maybe not the Colatro as much, but it's a good mon. I don't know if I call it a top six level crazy, but it's pretty good.
I respect it. I respect
I
Terra
respect the
Kilowattrel
mon.
immensely.
It was under my world in the World Cup like draft going today. I was working with. I was like, this thing fits kind of well here. They didn't end up on the final build, but like it was definitely under consideration. It's a fine mon.
Yeah.
Hey, on to seventh. We have Queen of Roses, who we both have pretty much middle. Very much. So we have Terra Cartana, which I think is gonna be broken. I'm still yet to be fully determined, but I think it's gonna be broken. Greninja, Mega Garchomp, Pecharon, Zapdos, the triple fairies of Clefable, Tinkaton, Wigglytuff, and then Tarantula.
So I just want to
These are
say
team.
this is a. Oh, go ahead.
I would just say like I like this team a lot, even though of the triple fairies, because I feel like you just bring your top five and slot in whichever fairy you want which week, and then it's like really fucking good.
I mean, to me, it's like shout out Black 117. Team feels very inspired by him
Oh,
with the
it does.
Zapdos
You're right.
Fable
It really does feel
Cartana.
like a black team.
And my main thing is what okay. I'm a Tinkaton hater, but respectfully, it's not it and Clefable do the same shit. Like, except it has Gigaton Hammer and it doesn't have Wish.
I do
Like
agree. I find it kind of weird that there's the free fairies. I don't really doesn't really make sense to me. It's
like
funny. I don't mind it, but I feel like you could have done better in those slots.
yeah, I just wish you had like another way to deal with like what am I thinking of? Um like another answer for steals maybe would be nice.
That's true. Chomp's the only one that's really breaking out. So like Terra Fighting Cart.
Yeah. And
That's
like
valid.
Pekkarunt would really appreciate having another thing for steals.
That's true.
Um and let's see. I think Zapdos is going to be pretty strapped for move slots here since it is kind of your main clearance and it is kind of going to need a way to help out with it's going to need to bring Hurricane a lot because your main offensive mons don't like bulky grasses.
That's true. Yeah, I
Um
definitely think Zapdos. It's gonna be strapped for most, but I do think it's a fine pick. Also, I like one thing I do like is taking Zapdos so your Kartana can't get static. That's very funny.
true. Yeah, you took Cartana's best check pretty much.
Yeah.
Um
I will say there's a few like there were a few things I know is like Wigglytuff is your ghost check and Wigglytuff is not a real
yep. Yep,
Pokemon,
yep, yep,
so
yep,
have
yep.
fun with
Yep.
that. Um, also Zapdos is your ground check, like it's an okay one, but Stone Edge hurts, and also like Gravity Landos. Fuck this team. I don't think Zygarde was drafted, but if it was, that would be a problem.
I wish you had more special offense. Like you're gonna have to like your special offense is very
I mean, it's red.
uh
Mega Chomp can
not
run mixed
immediate.
very easily. Zapdos can. I don't know. I think it's fine. Life Orb Clef is your thing.
Eh, I guess. But it's like you're having to choose between do I want special offense or do I want my defensive mons? Like
Also, Scaldy's Nerf Andos is super spammable into this team.
yeah, I mean that's just the part of yeah, Gren is your only water moment.
Grant, your resist are Gren and Cartana.
I would love another water on this team.
I
Like I feel
agree. I
like
feel
Gren
like
almost
dropping
understates it.
like Tinkaton and Wigglytuff and like Tarantula and getting like a water would be really nice. And yeah, I understand why you second steal. I don't think with Cart because that makes a lot of sense. I just don't think Tinkaton was a good pick for that.
I mean yo, speaking of, maybe a pole no, you need another fire switch in. You need another fire switch in.
Yeah, I don't know, but
But not a
you
Polion.
can figure something out.
Yeah.
I think like the top six is fine. The bottom three are terrible. If they make no sense.
Yeah. I mean, you're pretty much always bringing that top six, but what you're
Which
not
to me,
bringing,
there's a very fucking strong top six.
yeah,
You know,
um,
it's fine. It's a good team. It's up here for a reason.
yeah, very much so. I'm excited
Hey,
to see how you pilot it.
yeah, we saw you do really well last season. I'm sure you can make this work again. Yep. On to six. We have Magma, which is our next one really bit different on. Partially because I helped
Oh
draft
boy.
it, which is like I'm very, very, very biased here. But I really like this team. I think it has a good hazard game. I think it has good breakers, good cleaners, most checks things. I don't know. I really like this team. But I'm very
I
biased because I
don't.
helped draft it a lot.
I will say 12th. I did put it a little bit lower than I probably should have. However, it is so. I think it's one of the ones I have like some of the most notes on. Grim, these are not my favorite mons. I do not know what you're talking about. Um. Basic. I mean, I love Lando T and Valiant. That is true. However, like the hazard game, undeniably phenomenal. You have so many good users. It's very versatile. You can mix stuff up. Um, However, to me, it's like so much of your offense is concentrated into that Valiant and that Lando. And I guess Glim, if that's your vibe.
I mean,
Um,
armor. Samurai hits pretty hard with sharpness.
no, it really doesn't. Like, especially if that's your only dark, it's like facing offensive and defensive responsibilities. Like, I,
That's
I
fair,
think
yeah.
I think people are a little too high on Samurott, personally. Um, and it's like I think some of that passivity can kind of come out in it's like because you're like your Hammerot and your Lando, they're both offensive and defensive types. It's like they want to be they want to have defensive EVs, but they also want to have offensive sets. So it's like you're either not hitting hard enough or you're not tanking well enough. And it's like I wish you had someone who was like consistently defensive to just help them out. Um because it's like you don't have any like Hammerot, that's your entire ghost answer, unless you're running Terra Normal Neuvern. And Hammerot just gets worn down by every single ghost. It gets burned, and now it's just a sitting duck. Um, I do think also water types, something we Endless and I talked about, how this team doesn't like
Yeah,
switching
that was one
in
of the big things you
outside of
mentioned, which I
Noivern.
do agree on. Scald is kind of a problem.
Uh, I feel like offensive Pharaoh is gonna have to come more often than not, so you don't just get like what does this team do about Suicune? Like unironically, like outside of unless you bring like the specific Valiant, I guess Encore Valiant, you're gonna have to bring Encore Valiant for that. Which I do think that was one of the things I mentioned is Valiant is one of the most versatile mons of the generation, and I think if you can prep the specific set you need, you can't just get away with running SD every week on it. You're gonna have to really dive into its move pool, which it doesn't get Facade for some goddamn reason. Anyways, it's really something you're gonna. Oh yeah, of course Weekend wasn't drafted. Nobody cares about that thing anymore. It's sad.
Wait, what mod doesn't get the
Um,
facade? I wasn't there.
Iron Valley does not get Facade.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's very weird.
That's weird.
But yeah, I just wish there was a little bit more backbone to this team, personally.
That I can see.
Um,
I feel like Ferrothorn is and like Piloswine are like fine for that purpose, but I get where you're going.
I mean, Ferrothorn's relied on Leech Seed. Piloswine has very little. Also, Piloswine's probably not coming very much, in my opinion. Um, and not to be a speed gaps person, but 116 and
That
91
I
is
do
a
agree the
bit
speed gap's a
rough.
problem. I do agree with that.
Yeah. And I think having a lot of quad weaknesses, you're gonna have to do a lot of hidden power scouting. You're gonna have to be pretty mindful of that in the early game. People are gonna try and lure you, try and catch you off guard. So you'll have to be pretty conservative with your switch in to make sure to see what hidden powers people have.
I do agree. That's something that I did not really think about. I was like that. Yeah, healing power could be a bit of an issue. You guys have to be cognizant of it.
Yeah.
I feel like this team will just come down to how it's played at the end
Yeah.
of the day. Which you can say about every team. I feel like especially with this team, it'll just come down to the prep and play really.
But
Because
this
this
team
team,
has such a specific game plan that it matters more than most of the others, I think.
yeah, like even though game plan is kind of flexible in some ways, like in which mons are doing which parts of it, it's still pretty clear what you're going to be doing overall.
Yeah.
Like which mod's gonna be saying which hazards, which mod's going to be offensive instead of that role. You can switch up what's doing what, but generally it's pretty clear you're gonna be stacking hazards and trying to clean up something. Like it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, also might be a little weird take, but it is a little low on priority if that makes sense. And I kind of wish you had more priority for what it is.
I mean, there's like vacuum
Like,
leave, jet, sucker, ice shard. I think it's okay.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. Again, I'm a Hammerot sleeper, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm obviously very much I did a lot of the help with drafting this team, so very
Yeah.
biased.
Now, I'm not saying you did a bad job. Like I said, 12
I know
is an
what you mean,
underplacement for sure.
but I
But I
probably
think it's
overdid a
also an
bit because of
overplacement.
just my expectation.
So
But
yeah.
you know. Anyway, let's get into the big top five, starting with Boz.
Woo!
We have Terra Boulder the Menace,
Dear
Garchomp
fucking lord.
Keldeo, Corviknight, Cinderace, Deancey, Vikavolt, Brambleghast, and Drapion. So we both had pretty middle. Oh, not pretty decently high. Cry had more middle than I did, but we still both had in top half at least.
Yeah. I do really like it.
Yeah,
I think that you have 9 very bringable Mons.
which is something that we cannot say about a lot of these teams.
About every team, yeah, shout out Queen. Um and I think Terra Boulder is batshit insane. I'm kind of not sure why we allowed it, but I understand people are Boulder sleepers. I'm normal. I think normal Boulder is garbage, but Terra Boulder is very good.
Oh yeah, normal Boulder is
Um
dog shit. That's why Blue's team was 16th in Rook because he was fucking regular Boulder. It's not the
yeah.
only reason, but it's part of it.
I think I wish you had more support for the boulder. Like I wish you had a cleric that could like bring it in multiple times. If it gets burned, you can heal it. With this thing, it's like if it gets burned,
Deancey gets
I
healed
don't.
though. Deancey gets healed though.
Yeah, but what are you running Hail Bell on DNC? I don't
I've
know.
seen it. Hmm,
I guess, but that's not like optimal.
that's fair.
I mean, I do love the Mons. I will admit, I think Cinderace is fine. I guess it's kind of your main. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not forming coherent points right now. Endless. What are your thoughts?
I like it a lot. I will say all my top five were very, very close together. So any of them realistically could have been way more from 1 through 5. I don't know, I like to see a lot. I think it good breakers, good cleaners, decent support. It has mons that has quite a few mons that can go offensive or defensive, like Garchomp or Deancey, which are really nice, or even Drapion in that regard.
Yeah,
I just
yeah, they're
think it
pretty
was a really good
flexible.
team. One thing I do wish is there was a bit more item removal to open up Boulder because like Boulder does not like getting chipped in any
Oh
way, and
my
so
god, there is only one knock user.
not
Yeah,
having mainly scared of helmets really hurts Boulder because like especially like I feel like Boulder is a mount you can just like run endure a helmet and just chip into range of a priority move, and then there goes your sweep.
yeah,
So I wish
yeah.
there was more than just what is it, Drapion for removing items. I guess you have like I think DNC gets trick, right? I think. Not sure.
Probably it gets everything these days.
DNC is good fuck. I love DNC. Yeah, that and also ices are kind of an issue. Like Kieran just kind of smokes this entire draft. That's how like DNC
True.
like flash can and you're fucked.
Corviknight will get frozen.
Yeah, Corviknight you're not wrong. That's Corviknight for you. It's shit.
I think Corviknight is fucking garbage. Yeah, that's
I
like one of the
agree,
things that
but
like brought this team down.
when
And it
someone when
doesn't
someone suggested Corviknight in the World Cup stuff, I'm like, no, we are not using fucking Corviknight, and then that
because
ended the discussion.
it doesn't feel like it forms a great pivot core. Like I mean, Corviknight Garchomp works, except for the fact that they're like I don't know. I think bulky waters is a problem for the team.
Oh yeah,
Excuse me, in general.
like Vikavolt and
Um,
Brambleghast can break them, but you don't want to break those mons that often.
no, I mean I do love Vikavolt. Vikavolt, my beloved.
I love Vikavolt in that deck with Roost. It's so nice.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish I don't like Keldeo.
I think
Here
it's
just because
fine
it.
here. I don't think it's a great mom. I think it's fine on this team.
Eh. Oh, also, killing fairies is a little tough.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like you kind of need offensive draft to do. I don't think that's not great. I guess
Or
like
I mean, I'm
I guess Gunk Shot Cinderace with Whip Arrow kind of nukes them.
true. Hi Jake. Uh, yeah. It's very. What did I write? Hazard game is good. Wish you had a cleric. I don't know. I didn't have a whole lot of notes for this team. It's still a very very good team.
It's good at what it does.
Um,
Like it's just a solid set of mons.
I just wish Boulder had a little bit more like blatant support,
I agree with that. I think
like to
Boulder's a
really
little unsupported
maximize
team,
it.
but I think it's got enough that it will be functional anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, like good team. There you go. Okay, on to our number 4, we have Grimmett, who Chrono at 4, I had 8, so it's pretty much like the last one reversed, where I had towards the middle, Chrono up top. And I think this is my highest ranked Sneasler Wayway team out of all the divisions, so good job, Grimmett. Yours sucks less than the rest of them, because I do not respect Sneasler Wayway. Um,
And I do a lot.
yeah,
Uh, which is funny because I would never draft it. I don't like drafting on burden cores, but I just know that that is such a difficult core to switch into because you're gonna spend so much time prepping for that unburden only to get fucking choice band U-turn poison
that's fair.
judge like worn down swapped into Lele. It's
That's
like
fair.
what the fuck do you do? Like Archaludon I think is very slept on. It's
I
not
love our
just
channel.
a
It's a great,
Rainmon.
like I hate his design.
Um
I love it competitively. It's great competitively. Great mom.
yeah.
Looks dumb though.
And you're
Great mom.
It's goofy, yeah. Your fire, water, grass is all mons that I respect. I think Skeletor is really nice here, which is kind of weird to say, but it does feel nice. I don't know what your bottom four are doing, if I'm being
Mega
100% honest.
Pidgeot's fine here. Mega Pidgeot's fine here.
But like, what is it? I mean, it's not breaking. It's not for like bulky grasses or
Yeah, I
fighting
don't really see
types.
its
Or
purpose here.
what
Like,
is it?
is
Yeah,
it the ground immunity, I guess? But then, like, it's Stone Age's always hit it.
but it's not a bulky ground immunity.
It's
Yeah.
like okay, you can make it fat with first. Like, it's doable.
Eh,
Snow
you can't
Sneasel is
run
not a
boot.
thing. Ice. Snow Sneasel is not a
No,
fucking
that's not a
thing.
thing. Bro is making shit up. I'm
I
also just not a snow believer,
I
personally.
don't mind Ninetales here, but you don't really have great abusers of the screens, which is not ideal. I
Yeah,
do
I mean, you've
kind of
got
wish you had
this.
done something else with your bomb for, and also made the Skeletor Terra. I think that would just put the screen to
Yes,
the
Terra
top.
Dirge. Yeah, fuck the bear dick. Like,
Fuck
fuck
the
it, you
bear
don't need
tick.
it. Like honestly, you could get rid of a bunch of those mons to get like a mid tier dark
Yeah,
thing that would be very
I
nice.
agree. Another thing I noticed that the team is pretty much all special offense outside the Sneasel. While Sneasel's a good physical offensive
Our
mon,
Calydon can run Swords Dance.
this why the fuck does this thing get Swords Dance?
I don't fucking know.
But also, like, I don't think you're ever gonna run Swords Dance. But I guess you
Oh,
theoretically
Grim will
can.
run it. Grim is goofy. He will run it.
Fair enough. I will take your word on it. I don't know. I also, again, there's another thing. I wish there were spikes here because if you are going to be doing the pivot game, like you want to wear down everything, and rocks don't really do it for you. Especially when Sneasel has trouble
Yeah,
breaking bulky grounds. Like, rocks are not going to do shit there.
yeah, I do. Yeah, I guess it's kind of what Pidgeot can do is break bulky grounds in a
That's true,
way.
it can, yeah. And theoretically, I can
Yeah,
against the Snow Core. But I don't see any situation where you bring the Snow Core over two of the top six.
no, the amount of investment you need to bring bear ticket's just not worth it.
It's not worth it, yeah. Dragons are kind of scary into you. Because, like,
There
yours
is an
is
entire Tapu Lele.
okay, and does Wayway wave a fucking physical hit from a Garchomp?
I mean, in that case, there's okay. Garchomp is not okay. Bad example.
Does Wayway wave a hit from a Roaring Moon? I don't know if it was drafted.
eh,
My point
I
is, like,
mean,
strong dragons are really hard to switch into. Yes, Wayway can, like, revenge that if it's, like, Scarf. Shut the fuck up with your calc.
okay. I mean, to be fair, Tails does switch into both of those.
Oh yeah, Lowo Tails is kind. I didn't really think about it. I guess maybe that's what the Lowo Tails is here for. It's for
There
fun
you
stuff.
go. It's your dragon check.
Fair enough. You know what? I used the Lowo Tails for that a couple times in NBC, so I can understand that. Yeah, like I don't. It's a solid team. I just don't believe in things for Waylay, and maybe I'm wrong. You know, like I think the top
I
six
would
good.
love, yeah, I would love if you just dropped the. Well, I don't know how much Terra Skeletor costs, but
I don't know.
if there was a
I
way
can
to
look.
make it Terra,
Give me a second. Where's the? Did my ties?
because maybe if you did like Gastrodon instead of Swampert, I mean Swampert's great here. Don't get me wrong, but if that would give you your spikes, that would lower your point cost a little bit. I think Gastrodon could be
Skeletor is.
17.
Oh yeah, I forgot we made it that super high because it's like broken.
Okay, that's not worth. That's
Yeah,
absurd.
okay, it's not worth that much. I'm sorry. As broken as the Mond is, it's not that good. Also,
Oh,
apparently there's a
wait,
transaction while we were doing
wait,
PR,
transactions going on right now.
which is very rude, by the way. Wait till we're
Queen.
done, for fuck's sake.
Oh my God, Queen.
I'm not
I
checking
mean,
it right now, but
okay, so Queen dropped Tinkaton for Gastrodon and Wigglytuff for Pterodon Sparse.
honestly,
I
base.
actually agree with both of those traits. Good
Those
job,
both
Queen.
help. Those both help a lot.
Where are you getting the idea I'm a weather enjoyer? Where did that? I hate weather. Where you get it? Are y'all just like memeing on me?
I assume so.
I think everyone's just clowning on me.
Anyway, let's move on to third, which is we
Okay.
are at Cobra, who probably cannot hear us because he's in class. Anyway,
Man, shut up.
Cobra with Terra Mew, Meowscarada, Rotomosh, Terrapagos,
Oh,
Mega Mawile, Neo Queen, Miss Magius, Doxbun, and Terra Pikachu, which is like his mascot at this point, I guess. I will say
yeah.
these top three teams, we generally agreed that these top three teams were the top three, pretty much.
Yes. Yeah. We did.
We generally agree that these three are just a head and shoulders above everything else. Yeah, this seems disgusting. Like,
This shit is
fucking hell.
so good.
What the fuck do you do to this team? Like, the top six is insane. The bottom three are all bringable and
They're
great
all
stuff.
bringable. Like I've never seen Miss Magius be so bringable than it
Miss
is.
Magnus
Like
did so well here. I mean, like, he has
submissive
great
and
support.
bringable.
He has great mons like like Rotom, Meowscarada, Terrapagos, Neo Queen can all be offensive or defensive in any given matchup or supportive, whatever you need them to do. It's great.
Hmm.
Like all of them, Mega Mon is one of the best breakers in the game. I hate the Mon, and I don't think it's that good, but like here it works.
Oh yeah.
I
I mean,
do wish there was
I
a
like
trick
the
room
mod.
mode for it. I don't think there is. Maybe Terrapagos learns it. I don't fucking know. Terrapagos move is gigantic.
Mew, I guess.
Yeah, but like
But
this, I mean, the offense, everyone can do so much. Everyone is viable. Except that's been
yes.
kind of a fraud, but like it's okay.
He's cute. That's what
It's
matters.
like it does what it needs to do.
But
Like
I
this team,
love the
there's not
versatility
much
this
to
team
say. This
has.
team's just fucking nasty. I guess like
Yeah.
certain grass types can be kind of annoying. Like Cartana kind of smokes this team, which is one thing I noticed.
Uh,
But like there aren't
you're
that many good
oh
offensive
shit.
grass. Like Cartana, I guess like maybe a banded Rillaboom kind of clicks grassy glide and you're in pain. But like again, like
I mean, honestly, yeah, if you are, if you're worried about Cartana, I mean Terra Poison Mew. Like
yeah,
Terra Mew is so good at adjusting to whatever, like you build the other 5 Mons and then
just
Terra
you
Mew
just
patches
whatever
that
you need.
weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I mean, or you can build around the Mew if that's what you want that week. You know, it's great.
Yeah. Like
This
I
team
I don't see any blatant flaws here other than, I
really
mean,
the only thing
Terapagos
I
is
know is
just
like the
your only
cart.
clear. Oh wait, no, Rotom's clearance. What'd you say?
Yeah, the only thing I know is like the slight grass weakness. But other than that, like this team's insane.
Yeah.
Like we both
And
have
I
this
mean,
super high for a reason.
team kind of hates Kyurem, but what team doesn't?
I mean, yeah,
So
Kieran's annoying, but like I feel like you can deal with it. I feel like this team has
yeah.
tools to deal with it between Terrapagos and Mew.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this team's really fucking good. Okay, let's move on a second. We have Iceman Braun, and this is why I told you to study while we were going. Because it's
Yeah, I
gonna be
should
a
have been
while.
reading and should have
I had
been
this
reading
team
your
towards the
book
top.
instead
I
of
had this team
yapping
at the
about
very
me.
top. This team is fucking nasty. Terrakirum, Palafin, Iron Treads, Uxie, Terra Sylveon, Talonflame, Superior, Hisuian Coolfish, and Dewpider. Where do we start?
Dude, like genuinely, like the only thing is like, it could be a little faster,
I guess,
but that's
but like
such a stretch. Like it's still so
it's got okay speed,
strong.
and then like I guess it
Yeah,
would. It's yeah.
it's so strong. Just like offensively, like Palafin is so good. Terracurum, you have the perfect support mons in Uxie and Iron Treads. Sylveon's a perfect cleric here. I'm not a Talonflame believer, but it is still nice. It
It's
is a
fine
nice
here. I
other.
think it fits real well
It's
on this
another
team at
grass
least.
beat. It's another grass beater to help out Palafin in case Kyurem gets fucked up.
Yeah,
Superior is great for a ground switch in,
Superior
which
fits
you
really well
already.
on this team too. It breaks down
Yeah,
bulky waters in case you know while on freeze dry that week on Kirim.
Glare for Kyurem.
Yeah,
Um,
Hisuian Coolfish fine. I don't really get the Dewpider. I guess this team does appreciate webs. I don't know. I guess webs are okay, but I
eh,
feel like you're never gonna bring it. But I
at
guess
that point, it's just like a goofy
I
one
guess
point mon.
forcing the prep is fine.
Yeah.
Like forcing your
Um,
opponents to be scared of webs and the threat of like Palfin Kirim under webs is very strong.
yeah, it's
Hello, Meta, and I do agree. Specialty Flame is actually a really good set.
yeah. I don't have any
It's just
complaint.
a fantastic team. Like it does everything. Honestly, this team just feels like my team in D1, but better, which is painful to say.
Damn.
Like they just
I don't know how
fucking.
you got Terracurum Palafin. Like
That's insane, by the way. I
that's
don't know what pick
absurd.
you were, but how the fuck did you get that? That's true. And round 3 treads too. What the fuck?
Yeah, Treads is so. I love Treads. It's so nice here.
Well, okay. Now I'll look what pick he was and see how the hell this happened. He was
Bishop
pick 8, and Palvin got back to pick 8 in round 2, and Treads got to pick 8.
and Terracura made it to pick 8.
Oh my
Like
god, what the hell?
Bishop. Okay, Palafin is boring, but it is
It's
also good.
boring, but it's fucking
Like,
broken.
yeah. Also, shut the fuck up about your damn fish. I will bully Iceman about Olamomola. Like that's part of
Understand.
why I rated this team first, is because it doesn't have that pink fuck on it. Like
Okay, on that note, let's
uh,
move on to the actual first place team,
this is
which
character
is
growth.
Cross Off in holy fucking shit again.
Oh my god,
I
this
had
is the
this
most
first
boring
Crying
fucking
Bird, but
team.
this team is stupid.
Yeah.
Like
This
Terra
is
Torrent, Terra Latios, Shibu, fuck, I can't stop why he's so broken. Heatran, Mega Manectric, also Golward, Clone, and Ubi's like, what the fuck am I looking at?
it's like they took a Gen 6 team, slapped Urshifu on it, and also had like incredible bottom tier support. Like
Yeah,
it's
this is
so
like,
nice.
imagine this team in Oras, but just no Shifu. Like, fucking,
Exactly. It's
this team is
so
actually broken as.
I
Like
hate Torn Tea, but it works here. I love Terra
Terra, I like
Latios.
it a lot more with Torn. I'm with Terra. I like Torn a lot more
Yeah.
with Terra. Two insane Terra. I mean, this team is definition of top heavy, but like when your supportive pieces are
Okay,
so
and
fucking good, who cares? You don't have
like,
any shitters in the bottom. Like I guess Illumise is kind of crap, but like it has a role. It has a
I
purpose.
mean, it's wish passing to Heatran.
And Prankster Encore, like bullshit. Like it's there for a reason.
Yeah. I gave
Kron gave first to Ice. Kron gave first to
yeah.
Ice.
Um,
Which I can see why that's a little above this. But I think
a
this team is still
Loki.
massive.
Yeah. This team just had to
Like
pay
as we said,
the
the top
boarding tax.
three, Cobra, which were Cross first, Ice second, Cobra third, we're all just insane. Like all
Yeah.
three of these teams are disgusting, and this is the epitome of it.
These are very good
Um,
drafts.
like the only thing I noticed is like I guess ghosts are annoying because like Shifu doesn't want to get hit by a will on the switch in. But other than that, like what else fucking messes with this
Bulletproof
team?
Quilladin,
True,
baby.
except Willow Hex kind of pushes through that, but that's not the point.
Okay, but now you've made your opponent run Willow Hex instead of Specs. So we
True.
take those.
Yeah. This team is just disgusting. Like there's nothing else to say.
Yeah.
Like they're just very well done. Yeah, I guess that's about it.
Yeah. Wait, what? Ice, what the fuck are you waffling about, brother?
Yeah, but like top three, good job to all of you. These teams are nasty.
Mhm. And I mean, overall, I think every team is able to be tweaked a bit to really bring out the best in its top mons, and I think everyone is gonna have a great season in D4. Love you guys.
Yeah,
Woo!
I think every team has potential. Hey, well,
Yeah.
I guess 10 guys here, so I'll see you later, Kron. Have a good one.
All right, time to piss. Y'all have a
What a
good one.
Kron.
Bye. Bye.
Hi, Tenkai. Bye, Tenkai.
Okay, Kron. Bye, Kron.
Everyone is a tank guy's voice level fine, or should I turn him down?
What's the verdict, everyone?
Yeah, is he too loud? He probably is, but let me because usually loud. Okay, I'll be turning him down.
Testing.
Let me
Testing.
move him down to 69% like I have everyone else.
Nice. Nice.
It was an accident the first time. It's been intentional the other times. Is it better now? Is it better now, everyone?
What's the word, guys?
You guys good now? Hopefully.
What's going? What's the word, guys?
If
What do you
something's
think?
bad, they'll say it. Alright, cool.
True.
Cool. Let me get up my notes first division real quick and it's reloading, of course it is. Okay.
Sounds good.
See you guys. Have a good night. Onwards to night division, which is the community division.
Community. All right, let me just.
Ice Hades was
All right, I got the.
Hades was already done. I don't remember what he got. Let me look.
I got the.
Hades was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He was 7th. No, 8th. He was 8th. Anyway, onwards to our night division, which is the community division, so it's a little more lax, but we're still gonna be getting
Yes.
teams. And it's just
I
gonna be
honestly, I honestly really liked. I think like every draft in community, like even some of the stuff that I ranked at the bottom, like has potential. You know, even like the one that I put
they all
at the
look
bottom.
really
I think
fun. Like they all look.
they do look really
They
fun.
all look really
Agreed.
fun to pilot, so I'm excited. There's
There's
have
like
a good
so
night,
there's
Grim, by the way.
stuff.
Said you're sleeping, so have a good night. Hey, let's
Have a good night.
Oh wait, I should ping. I forgot this yesterday. 1 second.
True.
At night, coach. We're starting your PRs. Join the stream. Alright, because I fucked up and didn't ping work until we're at 13th yesterday, so let me do that.
Oh, no. It's so exciting because you can hold on to this for a long time. I'm still bitter over the rankings for the first season of Ocean.
Oh god.
I'm not actually, but I do find it funny. For the record, guys, I forget who it was. I had someone knocked my drafts, the person who's doing the rankings, because they said Tapu Koko can't be your only fairy. Not only is that insane, that's not true at all today. This was Gen 7. Imagine seeing Gen 7 Chaco.
Remember, everyone
like,
sucked at Pokemon and used them. Remember that.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god. And then there was the other, like, he was like, you don't have any wall breakers when I had like Hariyama and Araquanid, but he called Mega Aggron. Anyway,
and
this
some Coco, which is a wall breaker because weapon. Anyway, we can talk about this.
Not a wall breaker or a real. Anyway, yeah, my bad.
Anyway, let's get going. So we'll start at the
Let's
bottom.
just jump right into it.
16th, which is Tough Luck, which we were agreed on this team being the worst in the division. It's Stun again. Roaring Moon, Terra Petron, Mega Charizard Y, Hatterene, Walking Wake, Round 6 Terra Mellow, which is kind of wild. Serena, Cinderace, Mabosstiff, Illumise, and Lilligan. There's a team.
So okay, so here's the thing. I think we both agree on this. The thing is, like, if you don't have any hazards at all, like, I think I have to put you at the bottom.
They just they have breakers, but they have queens. But how are you gonna wear things into range of them? Also,
I mean, the thing is, like,
you know,
sorry, go on.
no, you go first too.
I see. With Cinderace and Magic Bounce on Hat, you can technically get hazards up in some capacity. So, it for me, it's both the lack of hazards and this.
And then you're cutting out like crazy.
Why?
Let me one second. You're cutting out like crazy. Let me leave the call and come back.
Oh.
Let me
How about now? I can just talk for a minute.
I think you sound better.
Perfect.
Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. Yeah, but
Oh, no
as you were
problem.
saying,
If I keep cutting out, let me know and like I'll change something on my end because it might be me.
but yeah, no hazards is big. No
Yeah,
ground is kind of weird. Like, yes, you have dual grass in the morning. Like, electric's still kind of boned this team.
yeah, and like again, like the Sunsetter being Zard Y, or I guess technically like Lumise, that from like that's tough. I think that's gonna be tough.
Agreed. Like, you only get 5 turns on Sun on a team that really wants the fucking Sun.
Yeah, like that's it's kind of it's not really a team with a Sun option. Like this is a Sun team, and you're only gonna have 5 turns of it, or you have to, you have to waste a turn setting up, and then you have a pretty like suboptimal Pokemon, and you can't like run boots on it or anything like that because you're gonna need Heat Rock.
Yeah,
All that being said, I mean, like it's still Sun offense, so there are some teams that are like just gonna get run over by it.
I mean, this team can work. I don't know if it will, but it
Yeah.
theoretically can.
Yeah, there's like the potential. I like Terra Petron. That's cool.
That's
Terra
funny. I
Melmetal's
don't know
very
why it
good.
went round 2, but you got rewarded with round 6 Melmetal, so who fucking cares?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you got like basically the draft order you would have got anyway. So like it all works out.
I feel like the
I
order
mean
is
like
very fucking whack, but it worked out, I guess. But yeah, it's just like I won't call it a bad draft. It's like it theoretically can work, but it just has a lot of like weird intricacies.
it's the one I think is the most flawed,
I would
but
agree with
it's
that.
still you have your breaker still. You have like your defensive backbone. I don't know. No ground is tough. I mean like you do have two things that can tear into ground, so I guess that's not 100% accurate, but
Yeah.
like, come on.
I will say Tough did get 16th in last season's power rankings, and they did make playoffs pretty convincingly. So you never know. But this is somehow this is worse than last season's team, in my opinion. Last season's team was
Did you,
really fucking bad. Terra Manta and
did you
Duraludon.
see what Tough just said in general?
That's Ethan. That's not.
I think Tough just
I
said,
don't see anything in chat
let me go.
unless they say it in BPL.
In, oh yeah, in BPL, sorry. Tough just said, I can't watch, but I better be last in PRs.
Don't worry, you are.
We got
Don't
you.
worry, you are. Okay, it's kind of mean, but it's very funny.
Oh man. Oh,
Finally, wrote the fucking chat. God fucking damn it. It's so good. Well,
oh
at
my
least
god.
you're
Also
happy
being
about
said,
it.
it does look like a fun team.
It
So like,
looks really fun, but
live your
what the fuck are we looking at?
live your truth. I'm not
Fair enough.
hating. It's just
Let's move on before we go.
yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on.
15th, we do have Meta, who Tenkai had down here. You will notice that the numbers are kind of weird because we had a lot of differences here.
We did, which I think says that the drafts are overall like pretty good. You can debate the merit of them, or maybe I'm just bad. Who knows?
Who knows? Anyway, but we have Terra, Single Strike Urshifu, Terra Ursaluna, Tapu Fini, Fundy T, Tran, Kofag, Mega Sceptile, Espeon, and my boy Toxic Rogue. Foxbrook.
Frog Gang.
Frog Gang. Yeah. I guess I'll go into why I like this first. I
Yeah,
think
go
just
ahead.
the top 7 are all really fucking good. They're all just really good models in their own right. They all have good purposes here. They're all like Ethan, don't worry, you're coming up soon. But yeah, he said it, not me.
No, you're right. You're right.
Not me. Actually, no, you aren't coming up that soon. I forgot where you are. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, I think this seems like fine. It's got good breakers. It doesn't have a great cleaner outside from DT, and I kind of wish that was Terra instead of the Ursa Luna. I don't know, like I think it's fine. It's like
No,
it doesn't feel that bad to me, but I get why it's low. There's definitely some anti-synergies within the own draft, which I get.
So for me, the whole thing, right, was other than Toph's team, which again, I think is fun. It's just like the flaws are more obvious. I genuinely thought that every team here is like pretty solid. And for me, ranking it, I had this thing where there were a lot of teams in this, but like in between like 15 and like 12 for me, where it's not like I didn't think they were bad. I think they're like totally like serviceable and even kind of good. It's just like they like the strength and synergy, like there was less of like an overwhelming like wow this is scary factor, and like you said, there's a little of the like anti-synergistic aspects. I don't think this draft is bad at all either. My thing is like it's got really really good physical breaking power. Obviously, here's my thing: it's kind of slow. You have Mega Septile. Mega Septile is like
Espeon, yeah.
Yeah, like Espeon is a little flawed. It's better with hidden power, obviously. But Espeon is still hard. It's not like a bring every week kind of model. I feel like, especially without Terra, the threat level's not like insane. Mega Sceptile is good, but it's one of those like it's got kind of the low tier Mega problem where sometimes the power just like it just like flubs a little bit. So it's a little slow outside of that. And I kind of am looking at this team and I'm kind of
you have mentioned in chat he drafted double Trick Room users for the slowness, which I guess is fair. Although one
that is definitely true.
I guess on the topic of the slowness, we'll get to Ursaluna. And one thing I noticed that Ursaluna can't really proc Flamorb while your terrain is up. That was a big thing for me. I'm like, this is really awkward because you're going to need to manually play around your own terrain and get Ursaluna in at a point where it can get off his Flamorb to really get that power it needs.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Super hard to do. And also, I used to love thinning Heatran. I have learned my lesson. It does not work well at Willy. The problem is that Heatran wants to be spamming the fuck out of Will-O-Wisp and Toxic and shit and Lava Plume, and Finny turns that off with its own terrain. Right, so as much as Finny is a good mon, I feel like Finny is hindering some of your other Pokemon with its terrain, which I feel like Telepathy Finny might ironically happen multiple times this season.
Yeah, agreed. Because the thing is, the top of what you just said, right? Ordinarily, I think Misty Terrain weakening dragon moves is like really not a big deal. But in this case, like Sceptile really needs the neutral coverage a lot. And like I said, it already has like kind of the power issues. Like, no item, like no boosting move, Dragon Pulse, because it doesn't even get Draco. Like, it's just not that strong. So my thing with this team is like, I kind of I feel like with a top 2 like that, you want a couple of like really good cleaners to take advantage of like the insane breaking power, and I'm kind of just not seeing that. It's also a little like very weak on the especially defensive side, I feel, because like you have Feeny and Heatran, but neither of them can recover. So I don't know. I kind of see strong special moves like really wearing it down, and also like I don't think Terra Ursaluna is very good. I don't think Terra Urshifu is like bad by any means, but I kind of would have liked to see it like on something else. I think that's kind of my thing. It just seems a little exploitable, and Tricker is definitely a valid point, but like Tricker is kind of a hard thing to depend on. I think you want Tricker as like a bolster for like good speed tiers more than
I agree with that.
Exchange for that. That being said, I still think it's like pretty good. It's like a collection of like very good Pokemon. Like, and again, the breaking power of the top 2 is insane. I feel like prepping for this is going to be deceptively really difficult. Then Feeny is just great, obviously, but again, like that's my
hard. Is that this team
it's hard to bring
has its own like tough, but like it's only Heatran, so like kind of limits Heatran sets a bit.
I'm glad you said that because I was actually thinking the same thing. I feel like the breaking power of the first two is so good, but you're kind of neutering it yourself a little bit by not having a lot of good hazards set up. Like I feel like this team really wants spikes. Spikes go
Oh yeah,
so
let's
well
make
with
no
like
mindset.
magma storm, getting stuff in range for Sceptile, like getting a little bit more chip for the breakers, and like you have rocks and Heatran and T-Specs and Cofagrigus, which for one of your only hazards again is also kind of counterintuitive
With your
with
yeah.
Misty Terrain.
And then like
So
fairies and
sorry, go ahead.
grounds are also kind of an issue defensively. Yes, you have Heatran,
Yeah,
like Heatran, if they have Earth Power or Close Combat. Kron, you will die of fucking Kron, Tenkai and I are Spike Sling Joyous, you will fucking die of liver failure.
I'm a big Spikes
So
enjoyer.
am I.
I'm bringing
I
him up a
draft
lot.
2 to 3 Spikers consistently this gen on a single team. But yeah, like overall, it seems fine. It's functional. I just think there's some anti-synergies that kind of are holding it back, and there's some things that's kind of missing. But it's not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. It's just kind of worse than the others.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I think. Not bad at all. Just like I feel like the flaws jump out to me a little bit more than they do with some of them.
Yeah. I agree with that. Let's move on to 14th. We have Jelly, who, as you see by the numbers, this is why, like, yes, of how the numbers worked out. We both had him at kind of towards the middle of the pack, but he's down here because this is how it worked out. But he has Terra Mew, Torn T, Scissor, Screamtail, Shaman, Inteleon, Clodsire, Mega Sableye, Terra Charizard in Aurorus for some reason. Yeah, solid team. Like
I
it for
yeah,
14, like for 14 is much better than the 14 and so the other divisions.
I so we had this one like very close. I had this at 11. You had this one at 12.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first with this one again? Because I feel like I just talked.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I really like this team. There's a lot of really good things there. Terramew's crazy. Torn is solid. Just a bunch of good mods that said the Aurora said the Charizard. Like the rest are good. I'm not the biggest Clodsire fan, but it does work here really well because you need like the really good fairy check if you want to pull off Mega Sableye shit, which I know you do because it's you.
I was gonna say I think this is like maybe my favorite like Clodsire draft I've ever seen because it's a hard mod to fit, but it works
I know
really
he
well
calls
here.
it stall, but this doesn't really feel like stall to me. It more feels like a really fat balance.
Yeah, I agree completely with that. I feel like this is such a good use of like blankets because you have Mew with priority again, and then you have Screamtail and Clodsire, Mega Sableye. Like, there's just so much of the bulk of this team is so customizable, which I really like with this like style of build. Because, like you said, it's more like very bulky offense, so you can really tailor this however you want. And I feel like Scissor on this build is kind of insane, honestly.
Scissor's really nice here, yeah. There were a few things I didn't like. Team's super special outside Scissor, which is like normal because AB spam is very annoying. Albeit the fact
True.
that you have all that status available in the hazards kind of mitigates that a bit. Um, there's also just like some types. So like I know type art the living because you have so fat, but like strong like Dark Fire Flying Ghost all kind of just smoke this if they're strong enough to like punch through the neutralities. Like that was kind of big reason. There's just a lot of types you just kind of just if they have a strong spammable move of that type, you're kind of in trouble. You're gonna have to raw bulk it, which is doable, but this is Gen 9. You can't always raw bulk out things, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, agreed.
You just
I
like
was thinking. Sorry, go ahead.
Alright. They're saying I know he has the torn, but like a strong Brave Bird spammer kind of cooks this team.
Yeah, not a lot of great flying resist. It's mostly Auroras.
It is Aurorus,
Which
for the record.
yeah,
It is
other
never coming
than
to a
like if you
fucking
want
game because it's a Aurorus.
to yeah, if you want to tear a Mew to like electric. I think my thing with this team is it's kind of I think when the backbone is holding up, it's gonna be really, really good. The thing is, on something like this, I like to have kind of a one like really universally threatening offensive threat in the back. And like Torn and Scissor kind of do that to an extent. But I think with this team is I can see a scenario where like if the opponent gets a good sequence of reads going and one piece falls, I feel like it can be like really hard to bounce back from that. Because that's like the downside of blanket checks is like you're kind of relying on raw stats and move pools to wall things instead of typing. Like if you let like again like let's use the example you're saying if you're up against someone with like a good physical flying type if Screamtail gets like weakened in range at that point the whole thing can just kind of fall apart
Like
but
look
that's
at
like a pretty
Terra Flying Acrobatic Sneasler. Like that's one that comes to mind. It's just a really good fucking set. That just kind of runs
Yeah.
through this draft. It's like if you're trying, and you can say Terra immune to a fire resist. Sure, get fucked by the +2 close combat. Like
No, that's and like stuff like I feel like that's what I'm like. I feel like a lot of stuff here is like there's one thing kind of holding it in check. Like I feel like Palathin, if Shaman dies, Palathin like cooks the stress. You know,
this team. I mean, that's kind of the thing with a lot of stall drafts. It's like you have to keep every piece alive for it to until you're in a position where you can start letting things die and get your slight offense in to finish off the game. But Jelly is good at using these types of teams. I'm sure. I mean, we saw today he won his game pretty convincingly. So I'm
sure, that's the thing. He's great, and I feel like a draft having a high like level of execution isn't a bad thing. You know, it just means like you have to execute it on that level.
But if anyone can execute this kind of draft in BPL, it's Jelly. So like, I think he'll be fine.
Oh, absolutely. I'm expecting a lot more. The Mega Sableye kill count is going to go up.
He's 3 away now from 100. He's 3 away. He got one today.
This is what his teams have looked like since 2020. Hey, wait a minute. Black has been drafting the same variation for years, and he's like still the absolute king. So like,
you can't. Wait, let's move on to 13th. We've got Iron Man, who I had towards the bottom. I think I had more towards the middle. With Iron Valiant, King Gamma, true. Iron Valiant, King Gamma, Terra Skeleturge, Mega Venusaur, Blastoise, Klefki, Sandaconda, Wigglytuff. I'll start with the things I do like about this team. Two fantastic Terra captains. Like, if you want to go for a top Terra captain, these are two amazing they aren't even mid tier, they're like high mid ones. If you're gonna go with high mid ones, these are two of the best choices.
Oh yeah, Skeleturge is so deceptively hard to get around with Terra.
Is a bitch, and like Salamence also is good. Obviously, I really like. I also think they pair beautifully together. I really like the synergy on this team. I think synergistically, this team works well. I think just there's a lot of problems structurally is my issue, but overall, like good mons, and they flow really well together. I could see myself using this if I patched up some of the holes.
I kind of agree with that completely. That's why, see, the thing with this team is why I had it like a little bit lower is I feel like this is hard to articulate. I feel like it's got to be a little hard to build with this team. But the thing is but the individual pieces are really, really strong.
Yeah.
There's like one genuinely bad Pokemon here, and like Wigglytuff's not, without its matchups. It's just like, oh man, I thought man, you just said something. But like I don't know, it's just so many strong individual pieces. I feel like it's weird to build with, but like at the same time, like it's just a lot of good Pokemon. Hazards are rough, which is a little tough because you really want the like with Valiant and especially Gambit, you really want like a good hazard game. Like I'm bringing up Spikes again, Kron, because with Valiant, like you kind of have it's the kind of Pokemon you tend to have one shot.
He has to spam Spikes to hell and high water.
Yeah, that's true.
However, I'm kind of a low. Rocks, he has to run King Gambit or run King Gambit or run one of the two shitters. Great shotgun. But yeah,
Sandy Wiggly.
I think you find Spike support, but Rock support is not strong here.
Also,
like this is something that I very rarely say in Gen 9 because it's very rare for me to see this. There's no momentum on this team, and every fucking mon gets momentum this gen, boy. It's just flip turn blasters and teleport Wigglytuff. Like, how are you getting in your breakers?
That's kind of a big thing because I'm like, you really like for stuff like Gambit, you really want to be able to bring it in with pivot support. Flip turn Blastos is good, obviously, but that being the one thing is a little bit rough. I feel like I don't know. I'm torn on Klefki. Like it's not the most sustainable thing, but you're right. It is like a good spike setter. I will say I love prankster screens on this.
It is a great screens team. This team really abuses them.
Screens with Valiant, Gambit, and Terraments and Smash Toys.
And even Skeletor you get free Torch Song boosts.
True. Like honestly, that's kind of my favorite part. Is like the threats you have here supported like by Klefki screens. Like that's incredible.
Many dark do not block prankster spikes. Learn your mechanics.
Little little bit ground weak. It's kind of just Salamence who like wants to tear a lot of the
I'll say like
ground.
Magnet Rice Klefki, but yeah, it is ground week. I agree.
Yeah, but like
yeah.
Mega Venusaur is like fat enough to take a lot of stuff, and you do have Salamence. Like, that's a good Pokemon. Removals like honestly quite good. I think this is pretty much all you need. Like
Klefki,
two
Salamence, Blastoise
defoggers
all
that
can
are.
do it. Like if you want, I don't know if you want to do immense, but you can. I think it's fine.
I agree. Like you have one defogger that really like doesn't mind running it. You have one spinner that really doesn't mind running it, and then you have a defogger that like has other things you would rather be doing, but like can run it very easily.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I
One
think
thing
this
I
is just pretty
noticed
good.
is that
I don't have like
poisons
too many
are
in-depth
really
thoughts on this one. It's
problematic.
just like solid. What's problematic?
Poisons to break for Valiant. Like Valiant wants a good ground or psychic with it, and we don't really have that here.
Yeah, that's a great point. Actually, it's once again like relying either on Conda or like just like brute force with like Gambit or Mence. Not the
I
worst thing
found
ever,
there's some
but
that make good poisons, but I feel like a Fatmon tearing into poison against this team is really hard to break.
yeah, I agree completely.
Like look into
And
a Terra Poison Annihilate. Like how the hell does this team beat that?
I guess it's pretty much just Encore. And also I agree, if an Edgequake does kind of tear through. Edgequake like famously has like the very good coverage, but I think like
but honestly, like I feel like Edgequake isn't actually that different than just Quake here. We'll be honest.
that's the thing. It's like your one check is Mence, and most of the things that Mence is going to tear into to avoid rock are then going to just become weak to ground. So ground weak is kind of a big thing. A no momentum, I think, kind of sucks, and the hazard game's a little bit weak. But honestly, like I don't know, just pretty solid. These are just good Pokemon.
It's just good mons. I just wish there was more support for the better mons.
Yeah, agreed. But on the screens, I think are incredible there. But I wish there was like
he's gonna need
a little
full
more.
screens offense to win a lot of games, but if he can, he will do well.
That's kind of like if I had to distill it, my criticism to one point, I think screen spike Klefki has to come like a lot, and I think spin flip Blastoise has to come a lot. But like that's fine,
That's what they do. They're good at that job.
That's their role. Those are pretty good Pokemon, and you don't really want to bring your bottom two that often anyway. So
Sandacon's like okay. I more so like it with Terra. Shit, wrong mind. More so like it with Terra.
Yeah, agreed. I mean I like glare spam with that. Like honestly, with Klefki, it's kind of
how slow it is.
Yeah, it is pretty slow, and honestly, like for stuff like Skeleturge and King Gambit, they snowball so quickly. Not really Gambit because of Sucker, but like with Skeleturge, if you spam Terra, you can get like a clean little sweep going on there.
Yeah, like I think it's a fine team. It's like fine. It's just
I agree, pretty solid.
Okay, on to number 12, Ethan. We finally have you because I hate
Ethan,
this team and Tengai doesn't hate it as much.
I got your back, Ethan.
Yeah. Why don't you go first about what you like about this?
I saw Ethan like doubting his own team. I honestly quite like this team. Okay, so all right. As I say that, I'm going to start with the negatives. I'm not like I don't know how I feel about Cresselia here. I do. Okay, I'm a huge fan of the combination of Palafin plus Blanket Wall, right? Like I've got a lot of success out of like Palafin Ting Lu, for example. Cress is kind of such a momentum sink that I don't know about that. It accomplishes like the same basic goal, but like it just feels so out of place for the rest of the team. That being said, what I like about this so much is for the rest of the team, like I think this is just it's so good. It's so momentum heavy, like very, very offensive, obviously, and you're kind of like banking on Crest and Sinistcha to take hits and like to a certain degree stuff like Iron Treads, but it's so momentum heavy. Your top two like are such good hole punchers. Terra Jolteon is amazing. Like you picked it up a little bit early, but I think that paid off with like the late pick Lopunny. Lopunny is so good here. I think people are sleeping on how devastating like the combination of Lopunny and Darkrai just like pounding on you.
Really
Treads, Jolteon, and Lopunny like pivoting around you, and then you have like a Palafin endgame. Like, no, I believe in this team. I'm a fan of it.
I think those 5 work pretty well together, even the stage there too. I guess I don't know. Like, I think there's some good monsters. I just really don't think it's that great. I don't know, it just feels worse than what they are teams to me. I don't
That's
respect
fair.
Terra and Hilgo. I don't understand why that is the Terra instead of Crest or Stasia. That's really weird to me.
Yeah, there's a reason I didn't really bring up Nihilego.
No
I like
fairy,
Nihilego,
so it
but I
means
think
Trez is your dragon response, and like it's an okay one, but a lot of them can push past it, just not really fine enough to take those strong, super effective hits reliably. And that's kind of why no fair is a big issue on the list.
agreed.
Also, Kron, get ready your shot glass. No spikes again on a pivot team, which is something
That is my main issue with it. And this is a team that really wants hazards too. Like you're kind of
really
just
does,
depending
yeah.
on like you're just kind of just depending on getting up rocks and then pivoting a lot. I mean, like, you have T spikes, but not quite the same thing. I do agree that it's frail, Ethan, but that's
Which is weird to say with fucking Cress on the team, but I agree.
But yeah, like Crest kind of sticks out, but it definitely is frail, Ethan. But I don't think in like a bad way. I think it's just like you're gonna win or lose games quickly. Maybe Crest is sitting there. Sinistrar is like a little out of place too, but Strength Trap at least can set up for the rest of them. So I don't know. I probably did rank it a little bit high, but
I don't
I'm
hate
still
it.
kind
Like,
of a
it's
believer.
fine. I just think a lot of the other teams are better. I think this team has some flaws. Oh, also,
It
their ice
definitely
resistant
does.
Paladin, so have fun with that. With like things like Kira running around.
Hey, I excuse right there.
Ice Q is not a real Pokemon. I do not believe in Ice Q's existence. It is not real.
Yeah,
It
excuse
cannot hurt
me.
me. Also,
I
the
think
Darks and Ghosts kind of are annoying because you resist their Dark Ray and Wop near, which is a lot of bulk.
Yeah, the problem is both like the only two defensive pieces are both weak. So like that's definitely a big
Darks and
flaw. I think if
Ghosts
you could
offensively are, but like Weavile like smokes this team.
Revival does kind of go to town on this,
Guys,
other than like
please
Ice
have to
Cube.
work tomorrow morning. Josh Mike's football game. Oh god damn, yeah, like this team's fine. I just don't like it that much. I think there's some structural issues that bring it down, but like it's got
Yeah,
good
that's
mons
fair.
on it.
For
Like
me, I think the strong parts of it kind of make it work for me. It definitely has structural issues.
it's more so just looking at highs and lows. Like this team does have some high points. I agree with that.
I think a couple transactions to like lean into the offense more, like pick up spikes, pick up a fairy, like working like the ice resistance. I think it could go a long way. Yeah, totally. Try it out a little bit. Week one is always for kind of like
Yeah, of course. The first couple
feeling out the
weeks are
draft a
usually
little bit.
excited to test things and then see how they go.
Yeah, exactly. I do think the Hiligo like could be one of the things to go. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I believe in it, Ethan. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and that case, move on to 11th. We have
Off we
our
go.
boy, the real Skylord, who I had very high and Tank I had very low, so I guess I'll start with what
Yeah,
I like about it.
I had quite
Terra Kieran was broken. We'll preface with that. And I think this team supports it insanely well. With Glow King, other breakers to supplement, Queeners and Gren and Terrapagos, good hazard support. Good hazard support. This team is just like a really fucking good Kieran team. I really like it. I think it does a really good job with them on. I think the only real issue I had is like knock. I wish you had more item removal or than Cortana, but that's like one of my only issues I have with it. I guess like seals are kind of annoying for you to break. You only really break those seals. They're like tearing your Curum. That's probably like my bigger thing. Like steel types kind of sit on this team. But other than that, like I really think this
yeah.
team's very solid.
So
Oh,
this
hello
falls into what
Sky.
I was talking.
Hello Sky, you joined right as we got to you.
I I listen. Um, okay, here's the thing. This falls into what I was talking about earlier, where there's this section of the draft where like I don't think that like any of them are bad. They just didn't wow me as much as the stuff above. This is like a very good Kyurem draft, and Terra Kyurem is broken. Like, and it again falls like kind of some of the other drafts in this like tier for me, where I like a lot of the individual Pokemon. Here's a couple things for me. This is really ground weak. You have Rotom Fan, who's like kind of frail and weak to rock and just pretty exploitable if you knock it and all that kind of stuff. And then Go-Go, who's Go-Go's not bad, but like it's Go-Go at
It's
the end of the
called
day.
Go Goat
Everything
for
else
a
is like
reason. Just saying.
I'm just telling you to go. everything else is kind of getting smoked by strong ground moves. I guess technically Terapagos is a resist if you want to be
Terrapagos
nerd
is a
emoji about
literal
it.
everything resist.
It is, yeah.
Which is very funny because we used that term for fat mons in the past, and now it's literally true.
It literally is a resist for everything.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. This team does have kind of ground issues.
Yeah, very weak to ground. It does have a hard time getting around steals. Weirdly, a little physically frail in general. Mega Steelix is good, but like I'm not like super impressed by the hazard removal on this team because it's a like one thing that's kind of not bad but like mediocre and fan. Two things that really don't want to run Defog and Curum and Cartana, and
Kirim
that's
doesn't get
Terapagos. So, like, does Curum not get Defog?
No, it does not.
I could have sworn it did last time. Oh, well, there you go. That's one.
Terrapagos is an amazing spinner, so I don't think it's that big a deal.
Terapagos is a really good spinner, and like even on its like sweeping sets, it does kind of want to run rapid spin, so that's like a fair point. But if you're once like if you kind of have one reliable method of removal, and that's spin, so you can get spin blocked. Like I feel like it's gonna get chipped really fast, and it doesn't have the recovery. There's no wish here, which like takes it down a little bit for me. Like I don't know, I can just see this getting worn down pretty quickly. That being said, I have like no problem with it really. I mean, like Greninja's like still pretty like quite good, honestly. So is Terapagos, so is Cartana, so is Primarina. Like again, it's like a lot of these in this tier for me, like a lot of good Pokemon together. I like Slowking plus Kyurem a lot. Like that's insane. Kyurem is already like absurd.
Nasty.
And I'm a huge fan of that. Like Terra, like chilly reception into any good ice type, like really just works for me. And I think this is awesome. I don't know. I don't even like. That's just kind of my thing. Is like ground weak, just like lacking a little sauce or sustainability overall. They're not bad, definitely.
It's it's a fine tier middle for a reason.
Yeah, agree with that. It's just like a good middle of the pack draft.
Yep. On the 10th, we have Loza, and what a surprise! It's a Weiwei Sneasel draft that I rated well and the co-host rated high. What a shocker!
Yeah.
Wow, it's like the 4th time this has happened. Yeah, I don't believe in Weiwei Sneasel, but why don't you tell us why you do believe in this draft?
Yeah, I'll go first for the positivity. So I think this is just really solid. So here's the thing. I'm going to get my main criticism out of the way now. I really don't like that the only removal is Zapdos. Like, I think that'd be rough even in the best of circumstances, but it's really rough here on this team where you really want hazards down and terrain up. So I think your only removal being Defog is pretty tough. That being said, outside of that, I don't know, man. I'm here for this. Like, it's such a good psychic terrain team, but you don't need psychic terrain to be up at all because Iron Crown, like mostly Sneasler, but Iron Crown also has its good like non-terrain sets. You have such good like across the board like blanket potential in Garchomp and Zapdos. Like they're not going to last forever. It's an offensive draft, which is what it's supposed to be. But like I think everything just works. I don't even think the removal thing and the hazard vulnerability is that big of a deal because this is like if you pilot this well, you're just going to run people over so quickly. I will say I'm a huge fan of the top 6. I don't fully get what's going on below that, if I'm being honest, but I don't even think it matters that much. Like, and even then, like, just pop out a random Mega Bomb of Snow and I don't know, go for it. You're here. Like, but no, I think the bottom 3 are like a little bit weird, but like I don't even care that much. I just think the top 6 are so good. I can see this like just rolling over people so quickly. Like you have to deal with like walling Lele and then there's Sneasel right behind it, and you have to get around Zapdos the whole time. Like, I don't know. It's just good. I'm here for it.
Very so going to my criticisms. I don't know if you mentioned, but chomping the only rocker is kind of unfortunate because it kind of forces it into a more defensive role a lot. And I know you said Zapdos being the only removal is fine. I guess that's true to an extent, but you don't really have a knockoff switch in at all. Meaning that Zapdos is your primary knockoff switch in. Meaning that's gonna get those boots knocked off real quick, and then if that's your removal, it's gonna be getting worn down by the rocks. It's just gonna be super pressured every game, which is not great in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I
Bulky
think like
psychics in opposing
Garchomp can
psychics in
take
Zero have
knocks
an issue.
relatively well. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Opposing stacks is a whole just an issue. You do not switch in. Your opponent's clicking expanding force on you is going to fucking hurt.
That's fair. I mean, you have Crown though.
And also
I would really like a.
Sorry,
I would really like a dark on here for it.
Yeah, I would like a dark on here. Bulky Psyche is kind of stale. It seems like a fat Mew doesn't even need the terror. Just kind of sits on this entire draft. Same with like a Necrozma. Like a Necro kind of sits on this entire team.
I mean, you have Terra with Sneasler though to kind of get around that issue.
I guess to an extent. I don't know. I just
that is definitely
I don't like Sneasler way that much the combo. I feel there's much better terrain options with it.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from on that. My thing is, like, you're definitely right that Electric and Grass are better to combo with Sneasler in a vacuum, but I don't think that discounts that you still can get a lot of effectiveness out of Lele and Sneasler. Like, yeah, you're not getting, it's, the physical defense boost is better, but, this is still achieving a similar result.
That's very,
like, I don't know. I can just see people getting run over, like, really quickly with this. Plus, like,
that, yeah.
I feel like this is such a good like future sight spam team too with Crown and Lele.
That's a fair point. Yeah, I probably underrated this a bit. I don't like. I think the bottom three are really bad, as you mentioned. Even though I love Crocodile, it doesn't make any sense here on an offensive team like this.
Doesn't really. I think you could probably swap out
and the Crossbow. Fuck off. I'm going to kill my friends.
I feel like you could probably swap out the bottom three, like, and kind of gain nothing but value just by picking up other stuff. Like, they kind of make no sense at all.
And I'm a Crocodile fan, but like, it just doesn't make sense here.
I don't know what it's doing.
It's doing nothing on this team, unfortunately, as much as I love them on.
It's a beautiful Pokemon. Beautiful Pokemon.
But yeah, it's also really beautiful. On this, like, it's good for what it is. I just don't like what it is.
That you know what? That's completely fair. I'm here. I support it, Lodes. I see the vision.
I see the vision. I just don't know if I like the vision. Well, anyway, let's move on to ninth place.
Let's keep. Which and the vision is a future
middle team. We have Joe. With his trademark fucking sand. Joe drafts.
Let's go. Let's go.
Terra Extendrium, Terra Komodo, Titar, Rotowash, Serp, Moltres, Garden Weezing, Alakazam, and Vigoroth. It's fine.
It's like sand. It's like borderline an XY team.
I mean, it's like a Sun Moon team with Komo. Actually,
this is the one.
Top 6 was Zam in like Usum with like Z instead of Terra. Those would have been fucking hot.
Yeah, that'd be fucking crazy. You look at this team and just go like, why is that Weezing wearing a hat? And other than that, it's a perfect fit.
No drink is old bad draft Joe. Thank you, Jake.
So true. So true. I agree. I agree, Jake.
This team's a good Sand team. I just feel like Sand's kind of underwhelming this gen.
I agree 110%. This is, I think, the draft I have the least to say about. Like, I said in my notes, I'm like pretty solid. Like, it's a good. Yeah, for what it is, it's very good. It's just, I think what it is like just solid and not great. Like, I don't even have any real like flaws with it. It's pretty good against the board. You have like good blankets.
A shot flaw of no spikes. Take a drink.
That's so true. So true. I can't believe they didn't give spikes to Titar. Justice for Titar. That'll
be so fucking cool.
That'll be the thing to get it. So
I will say. And here's the reference to last night. There's like very low priority on this team. So like outside of Sand, the team's pretty slow. Outside of like Zam.
That's 100% true.
It is Scarf Serp pretty easily though, so that helps. It's a very solid Scarfer.
Is the only priority Como? It might be.
Technically, Vigoroth gets Sucker Punch.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
I am not drinking. Thank God you aren't drinking Kron. Holy
Woo! No drunk Kron tonight. Maybe we'll get him next time, gang.
We'll get him next time.
I think
it's fine.
This is like
sand draft.
Yeah, it's just like a good sand draft. There's not that. It's pretty much the end of it. It's like a little like kind of weak to water. Not really, because you have Como, but like physical Como sets don't want to get scalded.
I mean,
And like
you have Rhoda,
Superior's
which is better than
longevity's
Rhyme.
like, yeah, you have Rhoda. Like
I
Burns
will
not
say,
that
like,
big of a
one
deal
mod that
anymore.
smokes this draft is Bundle. Freeze Dry hits so hard on this team, and Hydro Pump also kind of fucks you.
Bundle does go pretty crazy against
And
this.
Charlie, a viable Freeze Dryer, so just Bundle and Kieran both kind of smoke this team.
Yeah, but like I think that's just a hard match for Sand, honestly.
Bundle is. I don't know if Kieran is as hard a matchup. I think you can draft Bear to deal with that, but that's just me. But
I
overall,
think
like, it's a fine team. It's a fine Sand team. It's Sand. It's
yeah,
Joe.
it's like a
What else
good
do we
Sand
fucking
team.
expect at this point?
Like I don't know. I like that you picked up like Wash and Mulch. Like you picked up a couple of the more annoying matchups for Excadrill.
That's very
That
smart.
was a
Yeah,
good move.
that's really smart.
But yeah, overall, I don't know. This is kind of it's a good Sand team. Like it's kind
Yeah,
of
it
it's
does
kind of
what
the
it
end of it.
does. It's Joe. We know how this is gonna go.
I believe in Joe.
I believe in Joe as well. While moving on from Joe, we have number 8. We have Ninja. I don't know we really disagreed on because I love this.
Yeah,
I
we had a
think I did.
big gap with this one.
I know. I just think Terra Boulder's crazy. I'm the biggest Annihilate stands. I love that mon. I think outside the Ninjask, like all 8 mons are very bringable. Round 7 Zarude is crazy to me. I just didn't really see much I disliked in this team. Get your shot classes ready. It doesn't have spikes. Other than that, I really like it.
Nope, no
And I
spikes.
guess your priority is like Aqua Jam, Polion, Quick Attack, Sylveon. So like that's not ideal, but I don't know. I just really like the team. I think it's a really good bulky offense with the burst potential of Boulder and Moth for the late game. Big fan of this.
I I have this low, but I honestly like don't have a super bad opinion of it. I'm like not fully seeing the vision completely, but this is a collection of mostly pretty good mons. I'm not crazy about Boulder, but it is objectively good with Terra, so I respect it being here. Kind of my main thing looking at this, I see this getting worn down very, very quickly by like strong physical threats. It's kind of just banking on Landorus, and like Lando's good, but it gets worn down pretty quickly. Like in the face of like strong physical wall breakers, I kind of don't know who you switch in here. That being said, it's good pivoting to get like Boulder and Annihilate in. I'm not entirely sure what Ninjask is doing here, but like I agree completely. Everything above that is like definitely bringable. I honestly think this is one of my favorite uses of Ampharos. It really fills a hole here defensively.
I like
Because
Ampharos
you're
on
like,
this team, which is not something I say very often.
no, I agree completely. Like, as much as I love it, it's hard to make Ampharos work. But like without Ampharos, this is really, really like weak to flying. Because
Yeah.
Boulder, like, you don't want to bring it in to take
Boulder is
hits
not
that
a flying
often.
switch in.
Yes,
Because
exactly,
then you burn
exactly.
your booster and you're sad.
You burn your booster, and once Boulder takes like that big hit, that's kind of its like setup opportunity gone. Because then you have no space to play the mind game of like, am I gonna set up or am I gonna just attack? But no, I think Ampharos fits in here really well.
I agree. And it has like
It
good
feels
slow momentum to getting your breakers, which is nice.
oh yeah, 100%. I think it's kind of dependent, like a little more wish reliant than I would like, because I think defensively you are like very dependent on Landorus and to a lesser extent like Ampharos, depending on the matchup. But overall, like I put it kind of low, but I keep talking about this because we haven't got out of like this tier for me yet. This like 12 through 15 tier, where just like it's like good. It just like wowed me less than the stuff above it.
Yeah, I get that.
Pretty
But
solid.
yeah, it's like a fine team. I don't know. I thought it was really solid. I get it does have a couple flaws. I know. I just felt like it. I'm also a big huge Annihilate fan, so that's part of it. But
That's right. Annihilate is crazy. Don't get
I
me
feel
wrong.
like
That
in
mon is
this
crazy.
division, I had a lot more of these. Oh, I like this team vibe wise. I ranked it high because of that than some of the others.
Chronopolion is not a great flying check. What are you talking about?
It's okay to some of them.
It's not. I don't know. And like, listen, I love Empoleon. It feels so fake sometimes because like the stats are just not there. Like I feel like you bring that in, you're like, oh yeah, like the typing is so good, it has recovery now, and then like it just gets put into 2 KO range so fast.
Or it takes like 45 and you're forced to just spam burst.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have a lot of those anymore.
Like it just it just takes too much damage, or what's the problem? It's just not fat enough for the long term.
Yeah. Which
His
like
HP went down slow in Gen 4, so it's good. Thank you, William. Amazing comment.
thank you,
On
Lily.
that note, let's move on to number 7. We have
There's really
the man
there's really
himself,
nothing to say.
Kron, who I had
There's really
towards
nothing to say.
Tank guy towards the top.
Kron, I'm a believer.
You know, why don't you go into why you're a believer?
Yeah, I can start with the positives first. So here's my thing with Kron's draft. Just the core kind of concept here, right? Of like Grim style screens pivoting into gouging fire with terrain up is so good. Like I haven't seen a draft like that before, I don't think, and I'm kind of astonished by it. Like that concept, I think is so phenomenal. Like I love that. Like it's got flaws. I get ready to drink, Ron. I really would like spikes here because like I think on Rillaboom teams, you really want spikes, not just for your own sweeping potential, but to offset the grassy terrain healing a little bit. And then even outside of spikes, pretty weak hazards across the board. Like you have T spikes on Hisui and Sneasel, which like T spikes are more niche than the others. And then Lando really doesn't want to run rocks, and like Dunsparce is Dunsparce. So I feel like I feel like the hazard game is pretty tough. And then like on top of that, it makes like I think Golden goes good here, but it does feel like a little bit weird because it doesn't have any hazards to keep up. It's kind of like for me, it's like the psychic terrain with Snazer kind of thing, where it's like you don't have to like you were saying, you don't have to have that, but it does like just make the draft. It's a stronger option you have. That being said, I think offensively this is so good. Like you have a good defensive backbone with Mons that can go on the offensive. I haven't even talked about Zeraora yet. Like I don't know. I haven't really seen Terraora in this gen. But I kind of believe in it. I don't know. It's fast. It doesn't get Terra Blast, which
weird. I
sucks.
don't know why the fuck I got it. Thank you, Kron. Amazing comment.
Thank you.
But
Terrible hazard game is like my signature. Well, that's why you got to keep drinking, man. I agree, Jake. Terralando is really strong.
I agree. It's strong.
I don't
I feel
know.
like it was super overpriced though.
It probably. I agree. It definitely was, but I still I like the result here enough that I think it worked out. Like I don't know. That's like this is just a good draft across the board. Like very offensive, like very momentum heavy, but like a lot of mons that can take a hit or deal a hit. Like it's just like so solid across the board outside of hazards. And then again, I think like I'm expecting a lot of kills from Gouging Fire. I'm going to say that right now. Like I guess technically you weaken your Earthquake, but it doesn't matter because you have double healing, and you can just run the fatter sets.
Yeah, I
think it's going to be crazy.
I really like this team, even though I had 10. Like I had middle, but like it's still a really fucking good team. You mentioned like the hazard game was my main issue. Another thing is like if real these things sound weird, but it's kind of ground weak in the sense that if the ground is a way to smack Rillaboom on the switching really fucking hard, it can go to town after, which is kind of a weird comment. This is not a lot of them that can do that, but the ones that can, like, if you have like a Nito, like Earth Power is so free, but if they catch you with a Sludge Wave or an Ice Beam on the switching, you're kind of boned. If you really want
that's
to
definitely
extender
true.
Rillaboom, I don't think he's gonna do that even.
Terrain extender.
But yeah, like
I mean,
it's a good team. I like it. I don't like it as much as the others, but it's a very good team, like objectively.
Yeah, I fully respect that.
I fuck with it. I fuck with it a lot.
Good removal too, like real quick note in the end. Not a lot of it, but I think like Blastoise is so comfortable running it like week in and week out.
Mega Blastoise. What else do you need?
Exactly. Like, what else do you need? Again, I'd like some spikes to go with it, but I mean, beggars can't be choosers.
Exactly. Let's move on to number 6. Number 6, we have another huge disparity, which is Lewis, which I had at my top because I love this team, and Tenkai had it down in 12. I guess I'll start with what I love about it.
Yeah, let's start with positivity.
This top 7 is insane. Round 4 Mega Dancey is bonkers. I don't understand it, how that happened, but it happened. Terramamphy is really good. Might have taken it a little early, but it's fine. You got rewarded with the round 3 Masquerada, so who cares? Tusk's really good. We've seen Heat pop off in BPL. Like This is the top
Mm.
7 just synergize so fucking well. I love it. I guess it's a little Ghost Week outside the Kamala, but like you do have to bring that. Like he's a really strong Ghost, which is ideal, but he's not the worst mon ever. I don't know. I like the Terras. Okidogi's kind of a weird mon, but if you're gonna use it, Terra it for sure. I know. I just generally like it. I do. One thing I do know is that like a dragon type that can get past the Yancy is kind of scary. That's
Which is a lot of them.
a lot of them, yes. So that's kind of an issue. Dragons are a big problem. But like, I don't know. I feel like you can Terra Fairy Manaphy is so free anyway in a lot of matchups.
That's incredibly true.
So I don't know. I just love this team. I probably overrated it, but I just think every mon here, even the Masquerade is like one of the better web setters in my opinion, of like the really shitty ones.
It is
I don't know.
agreed.
I like
Agreed.
this team. I think it does pretty well in every regard I'd want. I would love to use this.
First of all, I definitely agree that Masquerain is like one of the better web setters because Masquerain, like, you can get webs up and live on the sash, and then come in later and intimidate something and die, like, which is more than most web setters can say.
That's true.
Okay, this is the final draft for me that's in that 12 through 15 section I keep talking about, so I can almost stop saying that. Where like it's good, it's just solid across the board. I just wasn't like as blown away by stuff above. It's a little frail for me. It's relying on a lot of stuff that I think like can take hits but doesn't have recovery and is more exploitable on one side. Like you can take like basically any physical hit with like Great Tusk and basically any special hit with Gudra. And then like, Manaphy and Dogi have bulk. I love Terra Dogi, by the way. Terra Manaphy is definitely the star here, but I think Terra Dogi is going to be really, really cool. Especially because this team is like, otherwise like a little weak to fast poisons. Like Tusk is good, obviously, but and then Guj, like Guja's offensive output's not like anything crazy. I don't know. It's good. I kind of look at it and I'm like, this is a good collection of Pokemon that I think you can like build solid teams with, but there's just nothing insane is jumping out to me. It's just solid. It's like the most because this is the like out of the 12 through like 15 section I was talking about. I had this at 12, so it's like for me it's like the most like just solid draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I just think the mon synergize really well, and I think it's really well constructed. I don't know. Maybe I'm overrating it a bit, but I really think it's very good. I think it's just.
Yeah, I think it's totally fair. I think
I
like
don't
this is
know
just
how
a
well
good draft.
it will perform, but I know like if it's used well, I think it can really function effectively.
I'll also say people sometimes this is like one of my favorite like late round web grabs like ever because I feel like a lot of times people, myself included, like just grab Webbers just because they're like, oh, it's a good option to have, and like it is. People have to think about it, but it doesn't really do anything. This team takes advantage of webs really well. Tusk and Terra Manaphy behind webs, like
That's disgusting.
that's crazy right there. Definitely Ghost Week, like you said. Like I don't love being dependent on Kamala. Kamala's like such a fake mon. Like it
really
feels so theoretically good. But no, I agree. This is just like solid, just solid across the board. Just didn't like blow me away as much. But again, I think most of the night drafts are good. So being low for me isn't really like an indictment of
I
anything.
get what you mean. Hey, let's go on to our top 5 where we hit
Ooh,
Ricky. This is a Ricky draft, all right. Terra
it
Latios,
sure
Terra Ironhand,
is.
Corviknight, Hisuian Samurott, Donphan, Fortress, Rose Raid, Excelgar, Hisuian Typhlosion, and Quaff. We start off with 2 big, fat, bulky setup mons. The Ricky trademark. Like this is such a Ricky draft. I'm sorry, like just look at it. It's
It's
just
such a
him.
rookie draft, and I love that.
I
We had
love
this
that
one
too. Yeah.
ranked pretty close.
Yeah, we both had this pretty high, like high middle. Like I know I don't see Wabish. I guess it's like outside the hands and the samurai, it's mostly special offense, and like both those mons don't wear like helmets. But like,
Yeah, at least like two of the physical Pokemon are going to be clicking knockoff a good amount of the time at least, which helps out with that. My thing with this team is like I think Terra Latias, absolutely crazy. That mon's cracked.
it is, yeah.
Like and hands is like Terra hands is insane. I've used that before. I was so blown away. It's just so fat. The
I
stat
want
spread
trying
on
to.
this
It's
thing is
so fun.
It's so good. The stat spread on this thing is fucking crazy. Imagine if it had an ability. Then my thing is below them, literally everything until cloth. I think cloth is kind of fake. I guess it can have like use. I don't know. It has regen and rocks, whatever. I think everything below hand is solid. Like everything there is like fine. Nothing really like dazzles me. It's just all like you have like Samurats are like very good. You have like good reliable staples and Corviknight and Donphan and Florges. Like Wish is really nice here for hands. Like Roserade is cool here as like just kind of clearing the way for Samurai. You don't really need spikes on it because of Samurai, but like T spikes are nice and just a lot of spikers here like alongside Samurai, which is interesting. Not really a bad thing. I just find that like that doesn't I feel like a lot of people when people draft like backup spikers with Samurott, they kind of never wind up having to set up spikes because Samurott just wants Cecil Judge all the time. But I think this is just like overall really solid and like such an insane top two that like I'm quite fond of it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Which is pretty special biased. Also, Samurai is kind of pressured in some regards for Ghosts and Ices, which are both two very strong offensive typings. And even though I think Samurai has the bulk to take them on once or twice, it's not sustainable long term without Forge's support, which helps, but like it's only can go
Yeah,
so
agreed,
far.
agreed.
But like I really like the team. It's a really solid, bulky offense. Slightly less stat balance. Like it's really good. Cloth is a
Agreed.
weak mon, even though I did get a kill with it once versus A12, which was very funny, but it's not a good mon.
Gloff is a Pokemon where you get if you get into playoffs, you bring it in your final week meme game and try to sweep with Anger Shell, and that's about all it does. That's what I was saying. I actually fully agree with the Samurai point. The thing is, with this team, you can get around it because your Terra Captains are so good and fat and sustainable. But that's the thing. I think this team is going to be relying on getting Terra off early, which
I
is
agree.
hard.
It does
Because other than that,
shoehorn you
it's like
kind of much if you have to force your Terra early in the game. And like some mons really like Terra early, like, but these are not the ones of those that want Terra.
no, not at all. These are like these two Pokemon. Like
They
they
want
like
Terra
to
in middle
keep
late
the
game.
yeah, they want to keep the defensive typing as long as it's convenient. You know, like
Yeah.
because you're not going to be running like stab Terras on these unless there's a week where you want like scarf like Terra Dragon Dracos, but for the most part, you're gonna want these like mid to late game, like you said. So like that's definitely a weakness, but I don't think it's a huge one.
And this is definitely Ricky's playstyle, so I'm very confident he can make this do well.
Oh yeah,
Like
for
this is
sure.
the type
I
of team
definitely
he's
see your
super
point though.
comfortable
Like,
with, and it's a very good variation on the types of things he's drafted in the past.
yep, agreed.
Yeah.
That's
So to number
solid.
4, which is Ravens, who I had in middle, and Tank I had this at number 1 actually. So why don't you go into why you love this team so much?
I was a huge fan of this team. So I think the bottom two, not bad, but like pretty, kind of
First
negligible
shitters
compared to
there.
everything else. Yeah, exactly. Glimmet you have to think about at least, if
You
nothing
have to at
else,
least
because it could be annoying.
recognize it could. You have to have a plan for a week on it. You don't have to like prep for it, but you have to have something in mind.
Yeah, 100% agreed there. For the rest of this, I think this is insane. These are really, really good Terra Captains, both of them. I think like the defensive core of Scissor, Ting Lu, and Aloe is fucking crazy. You cover everything with that. They're so fat, but you keep up momentum with them. I love like Aloe plus Ting Lu. Like I love just the fat wishes to it. Not a ton of hazard removal, but everything here is good. Like you can keep the sturdy intact on Ogerpon. Cornerstone is a crazy Pokemon, by the
I
way.
love Cornerstone.
I
It's
think
so fun.
it's so good. I think an accurate rock move on this draft is so good. Like it's just like I think everything about this just clicks for me. It is good speed.
Yeah, the
Not like
more I think about it, I probably did underrate this a little. I think about it more.
that's totally fair. Like it's like a little bit slow because for like Latios like is like good speed but not outstanding anymore. So like you're kind of depending on Talonflame.
But T-Flame's like fine for that.
Yeah, it's just like a good Pokemon. I think Flame
It's a
Body on
good
this is
7th
crazy.
Mon.
Yeah, exactly. I
Okay, Jake boy, sure, Connie's a good Pokemon. Jamie boy, I totally believe you.
Well, it's didn't. Who,
But anyway,
wasn't there like a
yeah, this seems
VGC
really
player
good.
who
Like,
used Cottony one time?
this seems really good. Like, I know I had it middle, but like, it's still really fucking good. Like, the two terrorists are insane to be impossible pepper to get. Like, it's all just good mods. I did not really think about how potent that defensive core is. I'll be honest. It just seems like really good. It's really good at what it does. Like, every mod's kind
I
of
agree.
obvious what it's doing, but like, how the fuck do you stop them?
That's the thing. It's like you can have a pretty straightforward game plan, but like it's just such a well executed plan. Like great hazards. Again, the defensive core is just so good because it's not passive. Is the thing. Like I don't know. I think this is crazy. I think I stand by this being my favorite draft of night.
Hello, Ricky. And Ricky Cloth was just a cover bird spam with low-key anger shell sweep eye emoji. Very nice.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying, Ricky.
this team's really good. I did notice it's kind of bird weak. Like flying's kind of just click a button and you drop them on. If Chiyu or
That's
Owl was kind of weakened a bit, but it's not the end of the world.
that's a very good
And
point. You're
also,
kind of
top
relying
two
on.
spikes kind of fuck this team because like Owl and Tingu getting poisoned is just disastrous. And yes, I know Scissor's a really good defogger, but like there will be situations where you can't get Scissor integrated off. And Aloe and
No,
Tingu
you're
getting top poisoned really hurts. It also breaks the cornerstone sturdy. Like you can't even heal that with a wish. But like overall, it's insane team. I definitely underrated it.
No, you're 100% right. Definitely T Spike weak. That's the problem with like one of your shitters being like your poison type.
Yeah.
But
And
I
being
think
a poison type that only ever leads too.
yes, exactly. But I think
Like
my thing with that is like a lot like you have so two of your defoggers are immune to poison. You can like you can run boots on aloe and like have it not be a huge problem. And my main thing is like the two Terramons, right, start off immune to poison, and Latios like always stays like that.
Yeah, well, I have
So
a
I
clever.
think
So yeah, I get it's probably not as big a deal as I made it out to be.
it definitely is a flaw, though. I agree completely.
But yeah, this seems insane. Like the top 7 is so strong. It's gonna be real hard to prep.
So good. Agreed.
Ravens definitely drafting really well for his first BPL season back. Like no denying
Yeah.
that. And now we
I'm
get
very
to
proud.
pick top 3.
Top 3. Let's
First up,
go.
we have Love, who I actually had top 3. Tenga still had pretty high, but whoo, the Aber's a joke pick. By the way, he told me to pick him a 1-pointer, so I picked the first one on the tier list.
You picked a pretty good
I
one.
was just like,
All
I'm not
things
holding up the
considered.
draft. You guys are going so fucking. No, actually, no. I think they were going. No, wait, this is the fastest division. Never mind. This is fast. No, wait, no. That was Bishop. This division wasn't that slow, but you said to pick a random 1-pointer, so I just instead of randomly picking, I picked the top one on the board. Funny. But yeah, Pulp,
Oh my.
Terra Chiyu, Mega Glade, Gliscor, Ferrothorn, Glamora, Lantern, Alchemy, I'm sorry, Caleb. But this team's cracked. Like, Pult getting in Chiyu and Wade, Chiyu and Pult breaking for Wade. Insane defense in Gliscor, Ferrothorn, even Lantern's really good there. Glamora, perhaps, like, God, I love this team. This is like the most
I think
weak
this
team
team is
ever.
crazy.
Except I hate Chiyu, but like, this is a good Chiyu team, so, okay, enough. Good
See,
breakers, good
I
cleaners.
hate using Chiyu, but when other people have it, I think it's cracked. So like I think this is cracked.
Jake isn't wrong. This is the first love draft I've seen in over 6 years about a regen core. He's not wrong, but like I feel like Gliscor Ferrothorn is almost a regen core.
Yeah, they like basically have
But no Torn or Steel is kind of crazy. I do agree with that. I think Torn was already gone. Let me check. I don't. Oh,
um
I don't think it was gone. I think he just took Pulp. Because obviously it's fucking Pulp, and I assume
yeah, it's Dragapult.
Torn was. Let me see. Was Torn gone? And Torn obviously didn't get back for obvious reasons. No, oh, you took Drive fourth, and then Torn went round 2. Okay, yeah, so you couldn't get Torn, and I guess he could have gone Steel. I think is he still good undrafted? Yes,
It
it
did.
did. It did.
Damn, when
Interesting.
your goat's washed.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm sad, but yeah, this team is. I just love this team. Like I barely say issues. Like I guess little lacking in priority outside the sneak on Gallade and like I guess Sucker Munch pull. But, like sneak on
Yeah,
Gallade fucking hurts. Like things die from like
it does.
from that.
Yeah,
Even if it's
I
neutral.
think this draft is crazy. Every problem I have with this draft is like kind of nitpicking. Like pretty lackluster hazard removal for Chiyu, which is kind of important because Chiyu like basically never wants to run boots. Like you can, but like when's the last time you saw a boot like
I
a
mean,
boots
Mortal Fin
Chi?
Gwym isn't bad at a team that pressure steals this hard, though.
That's why I don't think it's a huge problem. Like Defog Gliscor is like fine. Yeah, it's like completely functional. Really good taunt users on this team too. So like, you can get out of it. My other real thing is like I think this is kind of crazy fire week. The two offensive resists like can barely take it. Glamor is like a little bit better naturally bulky, but like
And I can
if
see
you
it.
look
Fire is a bit of an issue, yeah, because like even if Gwym, Chiyu, Dragapult resist it, like they don't want to switch in on it.
yeah, you have like
Even though
three.
Lantern switches in, and honestly, Gliscor is kind of a fire resist. Not really, but kind of.
See, that's the thing. I don't think it's like a huge deal because like you
I get
have
what you're saying, though.
resist. Well, it's like you have resist. They're just like offensive and kind of frail. Or Lantern, who like Lantern's like good, but it's not it's not like incredible. But there's enough bulk on here that I think you can like get around it. Like you can put Akka Berry on Ferrothorn, and like it's barely weak to fire anymore because that mon is crazy. Like I don't know. I think it's like a flaw, but I don't think it's a big flaw. No, I think this draft I think I underrated this if anything. This is
I think
crazy.
it's really good. I will say grounds could be an issue if Gliscor goes down or gets low.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of what like the syndrome we talked about with Jelly earlier, where it feels like it's got that thing where if one Pokemon goes down, the whole thing can
If
crumble. But
Gliscor or
again, like
Pharaoh goes down, life gets really difficult. I agree with that.
yeah, it's like very dependent on
Those
those
two are
two.
kind of gluing the team together, but they're really fucking good at that job. So
Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, like it's really damn good. Like it's not your traditional love team, but it's still kind of a love team. It has breakers and pivots out the wazoo. It's a
it's
love
also
team
a
without regen. It's basically it's just love team without Torn.
which is crazy. I
Like
will say, in
this is
addition to
just love
Fire,
team, but Polt instead of Torn. Like let's be honest here.
which I'm here for,
I agree.
honestly.
Polt is a really fucking good Polt team.
Pult is insane. I will
Polt is
say
amazing
also,
on this squad. You break fairies so easily, you break normals in dark so easily. This team supports Polt amazingly, and Polt supports the rest of the team amazingly. It is a great
I
team
can see
draft.
Pult and Mega Glade is such a tried and true combo. Like I can see like Pult just going crazy here
I
because it's
really
just going
can.
to cleave through
This
everything.
team facilitates offensive Polt so well.
This is such a good Glamora team, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love Gamora.
Glamora is insane. Like and like this is such, like Meteor Beam sets can work so well here. Like I think it's crazy. I will say, in addition to Fire, Little Ice Week for kind of the same reasons. Like you're
enough.
kind of banking on like pivoting in with Chiyu long enough to get kills off and like just out bulking things with Ferrothorn. Not the biggest deal in the world,
Lantern
but like
might be
it
forced to
is.
come more often than he wants.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think you just summed it up far better than I was. I think it's a little maybe could have benefited from a better
I
water,
agree with that.
but
Yeah.
like the
It's
Lantern
still
is
really
still
good.
like yeah, it's good. It gets you an electric in there too, which
fine.
is nice by the way because Gliscor amazing mod, obviously, but like susceptible to hidden power. So I do like having like a
Lantern
second
helps
electric community
supplement.
in
Yeah.
there. So no, really good team. I think I underrated this one.
Yep. It's just really good. I guess we'll move on to our number two. Which
Number
number
two.
two, I had bit towards the middle. I'm very proud to say that Willie has gone from 16th last season in her division to second this season, and this draft is so much better than the last one. I'm really,
The
really happy
glow
to
up.
see that. It's really just such an improvement from last year. I love this draft. I just start. Why don't you start off with why you had it so high?
Yeah, I think this draft is crazy. So off the bat, gonna get like my one real criticism, pretty weak, especially. I feel like you're gonna be kind of banking on like assault vests on like Bulu and Incineroar like a little more often than you want. Other than that, I think this is pretty crazy. Great speed tiers. I love the like Shocks plus Bulu. I've only seen it a couple times, but I
It's a
think
really
that's like
cool
an
combination.
insane. It's great, right? Like really, really good hazards overall. Like really good momentum too. I think this is such a good Ogre Pond game.
This is
I
a great
love.
Overpawn team. I agree.
I I kind of thought you couldn't make a great structure where you would give Ogrepon Grassy Glide. I think this might be it. I
This
think
is
this
well
is
done for that.
crazy.
I love grassy terrain plus Ogrepons. It's one of the best abusers of setting terrain and getting glide in because of how easily it sets up an SD.
Yeah, exactly. Like really good priority, like great wall breaking, great speed control, really good hazards across the board. Wobbuffet's a shitter that like you have to think about.
You have to respect it, and if it does come, you have to play around it in game very meticulously.
I don't know. I don't think Zygarde is like bad here. I don't know if it was like the most necessary thing, but I
It's
think it's
kind of
fine.
that's like the one big nick I have is I don't like Zygarde on here. It's like fine. It's kind of weird.
I thematically, I like that she got two ground types that aren't bothered by grassy terrain. That's very funny.
You wanted 2-point pursuit trapper, but it was snipe. That makes sense. Yeah, pursuit would have been nice.
Okay, yeah, that's
Trap. Yeah, I get
totally
that.
fair.
But yeah,
Yeah,
there was a really good team. One thing I did realize like was the 101 to 75. That's a range that you really do not want to be speed dropping in because that was like 980, like 87 to like 100 to run boosting. And as
yep,
much as
agreed.
I don't care about speed tiers usually. That's one area. That's like the one area in speed tiers that I do give a crap about. Is like the 110 to
That's the
190
big
range
one.
because that's very crowded and there's a lot of huge threats in there. So that's
Yep,
like that was
agreed.
my biggest issue. The only removal was torn, but honestly, this team doesn't really mind the opposing hazards. Hello, Jelly. Because like you're setting up your own so easily and then just going and whacking them to hell and high water that like you should be winning before they can get off all enough hazards to really be a problem. And you have enough
That's the
rain to
thing.
help keep your team healthy.
Yep, I
Like I
don't
think this
love.
team. I wish if it we have a would I prefer a more reliable mover. Yes, doesn't need it.
Yeah,
Just not really.
yeah, I agree with that completely. I would have liked a better removal, but I think the thing with like it's okay, it's more okay. Same thing that I thought with like Lotus' team, where I'm more okay with it on like super offensive builds like this.
Yeah.
This is also a build where Ogerpon can't, unfortunately, but so many of these Pokemon like really don't mind running boots. Like
Yeah,
that,
I
I
agree.
think it's not nearly as big of a thing. So I don't know. I think I and like you set up Hazard so well. I think Terran Incineroar is interesting. I quite like that
I don't
actually.
get it that much, but it was free, so like go for it.
Yeah,
Was no cost. It feels good.
I don't fully get it either, but it
But
definitely
like,
feels
there's no
like
harm in it. If it doesn't cost anything extra, why not?
yeah,
There's
exactly.
literally
Like you
no
might as well
downside
put
to
it
having
on
it.
it.
It's just an extra option.
And like in
And when the
theory,
Wellspring is
the
locked into one
utility
Terra type, I kind of like having that second Terra.
the utility of like having like a Terra Pokemon that's just an intimidate pivot, like that's pretty solid.
If
I don't know
there's a
how
game where
often
you're
it'll.
gonna use a Terra, your Wellspring and Sarah could definitely do work as a Terra. I agree.
Oh, 100% agreed. I don't know how often it'll come up because like Ogerpon is crazy, but like it's a good option to have. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think this team is great.
I think this team's fantastic. Before we move on, number one, Jelly, welcome to the stream. You were 14th. You can watch the VOD later to see why, but you were 14th. Maybe should have been 14th. It was just how the numbers worked out, but we did like your team even though you were ranked well. We were
We
fans of
did,
your team.
yeah.
Like it's a really good team for you, and we're sure you'll do well with it.
I
But
really liked
without
it.
further
Sableye
ado,
gang.
on to our top team, and holy fuck,
Mm,
Jake is going to go crazy because our
yeah,
top
Jake,
team
this is your
is
moment, buddy.
Sammy with the rain. And what a fucking rain! Terra
So
Iron Bundle and Tapu Koko on the wheel is fucking bonkers. That's like
I'm gonna be
maybe the
honest.
best wheel of all time. Holy shit!
In my first draft, this was my number one rank, and then I like moved things around a little. I think this like it's fine because it wound up being our number one anyway. I think maybe this should have been my number one.
It's just so,
I
like
don't know, man.
Bundle, Koko, Arch Out on Pelipper, Mega Pert, Overglow, Terra leaves, which is bad, but like it works here. Fortress, Volto, like holy shit! Like I don't know
Yeah,
what to
this
criticize here. This team's insane. It's
like
like one of the
literally
best rain teams I've ever seen.
this is fucking
I
great. Like
fucking knew it, Jake. I knew you would say
Sammy and my babe. The only thing I can think of to criticize here is
that.
like in terms of raw stats, right? It's like a little bit weak on the especially defensive side, but you can get around that with like AVR Chaladon, like certain
I
spreads
didn't
and
notice that as
Swampert,
well,
even
yeah.
like Overquill to an extent, you know? Like I don't know. I think this is like crazy. Like, really, what do you do versus bundle in rain and terrain?
It's insane, yeah.
So I've used Terra Leaves before. It like can be effective. I think like, but it's definitely like a limited Pokemon. I think this is like the best draft of it I've ever seen. Because okay, for one thing, like just on the surface, it gets so much benefit out of not having to run booster. Like getting the speed boost and being able to like run an item, like an actual item, that opens it up so much. And even like it's got pretty good bulk.
Yeah,
Like the breaking power with Terra is solid. Like it's an annoying thing to have in the back, right? Because you get through the swift swimmers, and then you've got leaves in the back. Our Chaladon is crazy.
Our Chaladon,
Like
really
I don't know.
Hello Ricky, we're finishing up this division.
Ricky.
Welcome. But yeah, my last comment is like
He said best rain team. He said best rain team.
Moonblast kind of clicks like Enamorous or like Valiant clicking Moonblast kind of hurts, but like it's insane team, and those don't fucking matter at this point.
I mean, like again, it's like kind of weak, especially.
I think
but like
best rain
okay,
team,
it's like
just to clarify.
Yeah, best rain team. But like it's like what we've been saying for a few of these. Like it's so offensive that like I don't even really mind that much. It's got like good removal on top of that too.
Pelipper Fortress.
Yeah, like that's all you need on a team that's generating and like great hazards too. It's got spikes. Take your final shot. Like and honestly, floats like we've been just kind of ignoring this. I didn't even really think about it, and like it's like a little expensive what it is, I guess. Floatzel is fucking crazy, dude.
Floatzel is great on here. Yeah, I agree. It fits really well.
Floatzel's wild. Like I was looking through it, and I'm like, when are you really bringing like Floatzel? Is that just to have like a water type of Swift Swim? And then it was like, if you look through the other drafts versus a lot of these, it's like, wow, these just like can't take choice band rain boosted wave crash at all.
Oh, well, as we're talking about this, Meta said he beat this team, so congrats, Meta. That's great. Really proving our rankings right here. Thank you for that.
Nothing but the top professional analysis over here, boys.
Well, on that note, I think we're gonna wrap up this division. But thanks for joining me, Tenkai, in this. This was a lot of fun, and good luck to all y'all in the division this season.
All right, great drafts, everyone. That was a lot of fun, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah, have a good night, Tank.
You too.
Hey.
Catch you later, Tank.
And our last division we have is the top division king with me and Ricky here. Let me turn Ricky down in advance this time before people complain about the volumes at last level.
My bad.
Hopefully Ricky sounds good. If he's too loud or too quiet, let me know. I will adjust it more. Whoops. Yeah, just let me know if he's too loud or too quiet. But with that, I guess. Oh wait, let me ping. At King Coach, your PRs are starting now. Join. Yeah, Jelly, you totally should. That would be awesome. And I pinged myself. But anyway, yeah, here we are. Last division is the top division, so I guess we can just hop right. Let me pull up my notes first, real quick. Just hop right into it. So we'll start with what's it?
All right, disclaimer to all my kings, real quick.
Huh?
Oh, my bad. I was just gonna say disclaimer to all my kings, real quick. I did a kind of like a rank based off a point for like how I ranked you guys. So it's not how I personally would feel about the teams, because some teams I feel like I would use myself more than others.
That makes
but
sense. Yeah, I also
kind of how I would try to look at it as objectively as possible.
Yeah, I also didn't mention this when I was doing my rankings. There were some of those vibes based, but I did use a system as well. Throughout all 6 divisions, I did kind of adjust some things based on how I felt, but generally I did use a system. But yeah, let's just get started with number 16, which is Minnie, who Minnie's gonna be pissed. But yeah, this is just a weird draft. Like Terra Mew, Mega Gallade, Meowscarada, Terrapagos, Neo King, Terrazumero, Mesprit, Cricketune, Stonejourner. He's happy about it. I don't know, like triple psychics I think can work. I don't think this works. I don't know, me is just me. There's some good mons on here. Prepping for Mew, Gallade,
and like I get that
is gonna be
use a Terra, but
yeah, prepping for Mew, Gallade, Terrapagos is gonna suck, and I'm not looking forward to it. I think it's week 6 I have to fight this crazy shit. But like, it's just structurally like there's a lot of issues here. Like no steel, your only remover is Terrapagos, which even though
I agree. I feel like
it's fucking strap for slots. I don't know. You know what you're saying? Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of good mons on this draft, like Terapagos, Mew, Gallade, even Mao, and Nidoking. It's very offensive, but it feels also like frail, despite there being like a
Both. I
Terapagos
get what you mean. Yeah.
and like Mew, and there's just a lot of. I feel like it's missing a lot of support. You know.
I agree with that. Yeah. This team just like
So
structurally, just like there's a lot of
so yeah,
problems.
I
Like
feel like
it's very physical. Wait. Why is he physical? No, wait, I said that wrong. Why is it? Why is that man so stupid? Never mind. Ignore that one. But like somehow this team is bug weak, which is something I've never fucking said in APR ever. But like, what the fuck wants to come in on like a U-turn or something on this team? Which is weird. Um, Torn also smokes this. No flying resist. No steel resist. Somehow it's weak to normal spam, which again I never fucking say. But like, look at this team. Look at Terra Normal Cartana. Tell me what takes a return. Skull's kind of I don't know. It's just like structure. It's got a lot of issues, but I mean the mons are good,
yeah,
and Mini will pilot it well. I'm not worried about that. It's Mini at the end of the day.
I agree, and kind of like I already saw like Minnie's first battle, and kind of something that I noticed was how easily Terra's shell can be broken.
Yeah.
Um, by it being like a come in for like U turns or things like that. Because like you said, no one wants to take a U turn. No one wants to take like
Even like a
these
knockoff
hits
even.
except for for Terrapagos. But
Yeah, so it's just kind of
yeah,
I feel like this team doesn't support Terrapagos that well, which is frustrating because I feel like with the right support, this mine's broken as hell. And that's frustrating. Jake,
I
Mini is
agree.
still
I
going to use the
definitely
files with this
100%
because he's Mini and it is BPL, so it will happen anyway.
agree.
Do not worry, Jake. It will happen. I promise you. I will actively throw to him in semis if I have to make that reality. But yeah, it's a weird draft. It's a weird draft, but like it's a weird draft. Like I'm sure I'll be fine with it. Like it'll make it work, but I can't say I'm a fan.
Yeah, I agree. It's just too many holes in the structure of this whole draft, so I
Yeah,
can't rank
but
it any higher.
hopefully he can pull it off though. I don't see it. On to number 15 in the Shoba. Here you go. You are down at the bottom too. You're at 15th with Terrachiyu, Terrazera Aura, Terrazera Slowbro, Ogerpon, Mega Altaria, Bronzong, Gligar, Blissey, Muck, and Swirlix. Um, I don't know, like there's some decent offense here. Chiyu Zera's kind of a nice combo, especially with Ogerpon in the third slot. Those three pair really well. And then the one that really stops is Dragons. You have Mega Altaria to push through those. I like like those four together. I think they complement each other very well. But then the rest
I
of the team is
mostly
kind of like yikes.
I feel like this team is lacking a bit in the offensive side because there are a lot of good strong mons on there, like you said, like Mega Altari and Zera, and obviously Chiyu. But like, I guess breaking wise, it's kind of hard, especially like in the air, like in the era that we're in right now with so many like hard breakers. It's it's a little lacking in that area. I feel like you have to set up a bit with Zera or like Altaria or Slowbro to like get up that
Outside Chi, like
offensive
Chiu's the
momentum.
one breaker on this team. Bash
Yeah,
16th was mini. 16th was mini. Yeah, but I
yeah,
agree.
16.
Outside of Chiyu, it's kind of lacking breaking power. One thing I noticed that this team outside the core four offense we mentioned, um, outside the core four mons we mentioned, it's so damn passive. Like, oh my god, Slowbro,
Yeah,
Bronzong,
yeah.
Blissey, Gligar all just sit there and do nothing. And like, it's so easy to abuse them and just run down this team because there isn't even like good anti-setup responses to solve that. Like I feel like you have to run a bunch of fucking red cards on stuff just to not die. It's not ideal, and no priority only like accentuates that issue even more with Muck. I guess Shadow Sneak Poison Touch helps, but it's only can do so much.
Yeah,
Only remove was
I
Gligar,
feel like against
and you have a
what was that?
Chi-Yu. I guess Altaria gets it, but only remove what wants to is Gligar when you have a Chi-Yu. That's like really rough.
Like I also feel like the lack of removal on this team is very much hurting it, especially if you have like a mega that is affected a lot by rocks.
Yeah, and Chiyu, which doesn't wall run boots, is fire type.
Yeah, true. Like you want your offensive mon to be as offensive as possible. If that's like your, you know, one of the few breakers that you have, and if it gets worn down, like it's
You're just
what
gonna
are you
be
gonna
just
do?
bad in the end game. Yeah, I just don't think if this were a previous champions team, we'd be a little better. But even then, I think it's just not good in. I'll be honest, Nash. I don't think this team will be good in Gen 8 or Gen 7 either. I just think it has some really glaring issues that are a problem. Like in any gen, this could be exploited. It's just even more apparent in Gen 9.
Yeah, I agree. Or like I feel like it's kind of like sub like bait as well.
Oh yeah,
Like you
sub
can
sub on Slowbro, Bronzong, Gligar, Blissey is so free. I agree. Yeah, I mean, just like it's just rough and dirty. Like you're in my category, I called anti bullshit. I had Encore Ogerpon, which is like good. Roar Mega Altari, I guess that's fine. Haze Muck, Fast Taunt Zera are all like fine, but like none of them are really good enough to stop what's gonna be sweeping you. And I really think it's gonna be hard to keep up in this meta with this team.
I agree wholeheartedly with that.
Also, yes, Jake is a French team. It stinks. And on that note, let's move on to number 14. And number 14, we have Zane, who Ricky Dad down here I had him a little higher. I guess I'll go into what I like first. Terra Cartana is broken, and the fact you got it round 2 is disgusting. And Iron Bounty is a great pairing with it. Great second Terra. Your top 6 is crazy. You have a really top 6. Crocolore is good. Fuck you for sniping it. I wanted him so badly, you asshole. Swalot's also good. The bottom 3 are not real mons. Don't ask me who let Terra Card go around 2 because I took Terra Kyurem, so I am not to blame. Everyone else is the ones who allowed this to happen. But yeah, I mean the top 8 is like good, and then the bottom 3 are non-existent. I guess like for shares doesn't matter. But I know it's just like it's really slow. Like Fountain is your only answer is only your only like real fast mon outside like Scarf Cart, which isn't great. Bulky Grass is fun. We have to sit on this entire freaking draft. Like Tangrove just sits in front of this entire team and just walls it for days. As do things like Mew or Necro. Um, and I know this because I have Necro. So whoever said Necro ever drafted, shut up. Yeah, and then like your Dark and Ghostess are kind of weak as well. But I don't know, like your top 6 is really strong. I feel like the team kind of falls off really hard. Yeah, I don't know if the top 6 is enough to carry you.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like the bottom, yeah, after Metagross, like yeah, Crocolock is has potential, especially with like Unaware, um, all that. But aside from like the top 6, which are offensively really good, um, and they do pivot well and all that, I feel like your support to your team in general is kind of lacking. And when you have like breakers and like all of these superstar mons that want to like kind of take the lead and sweep on their own, you don't really have the support there to push them forward as
Yeah,
much. I feel like.
I definitely agree. It's just like your only real support piece is Wash, I guess, Managroth. I like the team's okay. It's just like I feel like it's gonna be kind of easy to prep for this 6. I feel like outside cart, no, these are the mons that like are like so pressuring in prep that it makes it this 6 is so insane. Also, Jake, good point. Well, I guess you have to use the bomb 3, not the bomb 4, since you need 9.9 mons. But you could combine the bomb 3 into like a 4.0. That's not shit. So like I don't know. I think it could be improved. I don't know. The top 6 is good, but like it's not the best top 6 I've ever seen. If you're gonna have a 6 mon team, you need the best top 6 I've ever seen.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Definitely, and it seems like it's going to be really repetitive every of like who comes every week,
Oh yeah, the
and
same picks are
so I feel
coming in
like
like
that
90% of games
might
here.
be a little scary for.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe like Captain for Dragapult or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's
But
just kind of obvious what's coming. I guess on that note, we'll move to the next draft, and this by far my worst BPL PR replacement because my draft sucks this season. It's so bad. Terra Curum, Terra Treads, Grand Necro, Forgus, and then 5 mons that are bad. Slitherwing, Megazard Y, Munchlax, Hisui, Diesel, and Cutie Fly. I'm not gonna talk too much on my own right now, so if you want, you go into why you had it so well.
Yeah, I feel like you do have good offense, and with your you got Kiram, you got Necro, you got Life Orb Grand is easy. You got Megazard, you got Slitherwing. Those ones, I feel like your offense was pretty good, but I feel like in the defensive department, it is a bit lacking, just because you're like bottom kind of support monster like Cutie Fly and Munchlax is good, like I'd say defensively, but like you knock it off and then you kind of hit it with a fighting move and it's a little done there.
Shut up, Jake.
The
Necro is
Sneasel,
good.
I
Deal
did kind
with
of
it.
like that you picked it up.
Yeah.
I agree. Necro is a good mon.
I'm just talking to
I
Jake in
love
chat. He
Necro.
said, "Why are
Like
you
the
saying
amount of
Necro?"
times
I
I've
was right
drafted
before
it is
saying in
insane.
multiple Pokemon that are
But
bad. I just feel like my problem is the team is so reliant on Treads and Munchlax to check things, and like that means that we have to bring Munchlax a lot, which I'm not happy about. And I just don't think I think Treads gets worn down way too faster if we're just for recovery healing. Like it's just I just think the team has so many problems like defensively, and even I'm gonna have to just HO my way for every game, and I'm not excited to have to force that.
no, no, I definitely agree. It's very like you're reliant on like hitting hard and being kind of like in the lead. But I feel like if you lose the lead in a match, it it falls off pretty hard
I yeah, this
to
team
like
like
pick up
if I
pieces
get
afterwards.
behind
You know
it,
what I
will
mean?
it's gonna be really hard to pull it back. And like I think I do
Yeah.
have the ability to
So
pilot this well, but God, it's gonna be a
no, yeah,
challenge.
like this has nothing to do with like your ability
Yeah, I know. I'm just
as
saying
like
like it's gonna be a challenge. I know I can do it, but like I'm not looking forward to having to.
no, you're gonna have to. I feel like it's gonna come a lot down to how you prep. I feel like this is a team that with your abilities, if you really prep well, you can cover your bases against opponents and like you can do really good and solid. But I feel like you have to like really prep.
I'm gonna have to put in a lot more
Um
work than usual.
yeah, to put it in like simpler terms, yeah, you definitely have to like put in more work for this team to like make it work. But it has a lot of good pieces. It's just that I personally wasn't sure if like the pieces fit together
I agree with that.
correctly.
Yeah, I think just getting stuck with having to fill in with Munchlax there to fill with so many holes kind of really hurt the drafts. I'm probably gonna make some FAs, fix some stuff, but yeah, it is down here for a reason. It is my worst BPL draft since like season 4, and we don't talk about my season 4 draft. We do not talk about that because it was so bad. Yeah, it is what it is.
Wait,
We'll move on to 12th though, which is Mojo, who I had down 13th and Ricky had more towards the middle. Why don't you start about what you really like about it?
for Mojo, I wrote that just kind of looking over at my notes. It was I feel like overall it was like it's I put it more in the middle because to me it felt like solid. Like nothing is like super like stand out, but it wasn't like it's not weak. Like there's a lot of good things to this draft, like the offense to it. Conkelder's good. You got Gorging Fire, which from what I've heard, I haven't like played against it myself or seen it, but it's insane. Like I see it set up. It's crazy. You got Finney, um, which I feel like does pretty well for the most part in this team, just because like it protects like Gorging Fire and Ogre Pond from getting like status. But if you're trying to run like T Wave, I'd say like Mega Manectric or Grimmsnarl or Toxic Spikes on Nidoqueen. It's a little rough, but that's okay. Um, but yeah, I felt like overall it kind of like flowed together as a team pretty well. Um, yeah, I guess those were like my overall thoughts. It just felt like a very um solid team, like not shining too brightly in some aspects, but also none of the categories that I ranked it in, it was
Yeah, I get it. It synergizes
what I
really
mean.
well. I agree with that. My biggest issue with this team is that I feel like these are two really bad Terra captains, and I do not understand either of them. Like Celestial Terra, okay, I can kind of see it. Fitting of Terra makes no sense. Why his typing is why you draft it. And arguably that for Steel 2. I just feel like it's a waste to Terra those mons. I don't understand it. That's the big thing for me. Nidoqueen being the only rocker because a Woe and Dugtrio is not a real Pokemon. That's Nidoqueen is a good rocker, but also like it's kind of limits the ability to run our sets like Scar for like super offensive 4 attacks. So it's gonna be forced to defensive roll a lot. If Celesteela gets low, ground types will smoke this team. Like, it's kind of weird, but like, if you give a gravity and then just spam earthquake, everything dies, which is not
That
ideal. And like, so like
yeah,
Lando T
actually,
specifically is like one I looked at. I'm like, how the hell does this team beat Gravity Lando? Like, he just clicks the button and then Earthquake kills everything.
I guess for me for Terra, I put it like I think I ranked it like it was like all right, just because like for me, I like offensive Tinny, I like setup Tinny, and so I thought about it from that perspective, like oh, okay, like you throw it in, like you can set up on it, and you can run it like any type that you need it to be, and I feel like that could be beneficial to like you throw it in and say somebody's trying to hit you hard with like a gunk shot, and all of a sudden guess what, you're steel or poison or whatever, and then it kind of helps with the setup because stored power Fini, I don't know, I guess that was kind of like my thoughts about Terra Fini, or at least I'm not sure if that's what Mojo was thinking.
I can see it,
um
yeah. Like Jake saying in chat, yeah, these just are mons that you get obviously out of their type and be excellent for the bulk, and they just aren't. I know. I just don't think them being great Terra options. I mean, maybe it'll make them work, but honestly, I'm not that. Like, I start prepping it, but I'm not that worried about them tearing. I'm also just worried about their normal sets. Like, I don't think them tearing changes enough of them to make it worth it. This is a minor nick, but no freeze dry resist. I will happily abuse that week 1. But yeah, like, I know. I just really did not like the Terra captains, and Nidoqueen being forced into rocks every week is kind of rough. So that's why I had Wellwork is a fine team. It's not bad. I just don't love it. Also, like I don't really get the conk pick on a Finny team. It's kind of like meta with Ursaluna can't proc its Flame Orb and Misty Terrain. Conk Elder is the same thing here. So it's gonna be kind of hard
yeah
to get that off, and then you don't really hit hard enough this gen without it. I know it's just a weird team. Like I get it synergizes well, but after the top 7, it falls off, and like even then the top 7 feel a bit limited in some regards to me.
yeah I also feel like Dougie's a little awkward here.
I
I
don't get
personally I
why
feel
it's
like
here. I've never seen a Woven Dog Trio do anything.
I agree, I don't know, maybe like a more defensive ground, and maybe you can switch up your steel. Like
Yeah,
hell,
I know.
I think
I just
Mario
would like
Cobalion.
a different offensive piece there. I think literally anything other than Doug Drew. I feel like it's just a pick that makes no sense. Yeah. But I guess we'll move on to 11th, which is Axel, who I had very high and Ricky had very low. So I guess isn't our own. I guess I'll start on why I like this so much. Um, I mean, it's a bunch of mods I like, so that helps. But Terralia's crazy. I just think the top 7. Like, I'm not a Mammo fan, but I think all the pieces on this team are really good. I have Mammo's probably the one mod team I don't really understand that well, but I get you need a ground type, so it's fine. I just would prefer something else. I don't know. I just like this team a lot. Taurus kind of weird, but I get why it's here. Every mon just has a purpose. They're all solid. Like it's not like the best team we have. Like I think it's pretty solid here. I know mon quality's a little low for my taste, which is one thing. But I don't know. I think it's fine. I guess bulky sectors are kind of an issue, but like you can always go like Terra Ghost Latios and Shadow Ball through them, which helps. I just didn't see how many things I disliked about this draft overall.
Yeah, I guess for me, what I saw that like offensively, I really like this draft. Like it's a very like HO type of draft. Um, like everything hits just really hard, barring like Mandibuzz. But even then, like it can kind of hold its own with like foul play and stuff. Um, but I guess for me, like the biggest kind of issue was how it kind of forces Mons into certain roles when I guess for me, like the flexibility that some mons can have. They won't have it as much. Like for instance, Heatran. It's that one in Mamo. They're like the only like rockers, and those ones they like being offensive. Like I know Heatran also can likes being defensive. With leftovers and all those sets, but I feel like a lot of times if like you want to bring like a rocker, you're forced to kind of put it on one of those mons, and I guess defensively you're a bit reliant on Mandibuzz. Um and it has to come pretty often. I
Yeah, I can
feel
see
like
that.
so I guess those were like big issues for me, and also I think the only defoggers are just Latios and Mandibuzz, and if you don't bring Mandibuzz and you want some type of like removal, then you have to like run it on Latios, which I feel like 90% of the time you're not going to want to run
Yeah,
defog
you
on
don't want to run
Latios.
defog on your Terramon. You just don't want to do it. I agree with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I might put it a little high. I just thought the team synergized really well. I don't really get the Terra on the Mamo. I feel like I would rather give it to like Prim or Tran, but I guess sure. I don't know. I just really like this team. I think it seems solid, but I could be wrong.
A lot of the mons on this team I personally love, like Latios, I love Megalopony. I've won 2 championships with it. It's amazing. All these mons are really good, but I just feel like support wise, it's a bit lacking.
I can see what you're saying. Yeah, in
Are
some ways.
forced into the
Yeah, I can see it. I don't know. I guess we were just pretty split on this. It's okay. I know it's not as
yeah.
good as like Ranger probably.
Like I can definitely see it doing well and all that. Those were just kind of like the things in my when I was looking at it, just kind of like why I ranked it kind of low. Because other than that, like all the other aspects of that team, apart from that, like I really loved.
Yeah, we'll see how it does. It's an interesting draft. And on to number 10, we have Flap, who we did actually both have around here for once. So he has the Torn T, the Terra Victini, not Terra, the regular Momo, Crook, Omomoa, Mega Septile, Terra Fraudidori, Miltank Aromatisse, and Masquerade. I don't know, I like this team. It's pretty good. A lot of good bonds. Monkey Dory is not one of them, but the rest are good bonds. Um, I wish you had a removal to support Victini outside just Torn, because once Torn gets his boots knocked, you're kind of in trouble. You do have a great knock switching outside Crook, which doesn't really well lose its item. I do wish you had spikes on this team. Take your shots, everybody. I do wish you had spikes. I just think it would help a lot with breaking down opponents. I also kind of wish you had toxic spikes because Melmetal loves abusing toxic spikes. It just is so good at abusing them. But yeah, overall it's a good team, good mons. Good night, Nash. I just think I know it just feels kind of mid to me in a lot of regards.
I would agree with you for the most part. It felt, yeah, like mid would be a good way to describing it. There's a lot of good mods and lots of mods that I love here, like Krug, Torn T, like the U-turn between him and Victini are great. But I feel like Victini's boots, like most games, and I'm not sure if you always want to run boots Victini because you know there's I feel like there's a lot of sets and like Victini's variety is insane, but because it's forced into boots a lot, it's kind of limited in what it can do. Unless you want to take that risk of like letting it get like you know hurt or damaged on its way in.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
You don't want to be
Bikini.
like,
I mean, it can run boots, but it doesn't always want to in every matchup.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. I think the team's fine. It's just kind of underwhelming to me in some regards.
Bandit V create Terrifier 2 shots everything
That does
else.
two shot the entire fucking game. That is true. But
Yeah.
also, like, I know. I don't think this team supports it super well, but you're just gonna have to get it repeatedly.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's trying to support it, but it's not it some of the pieces that are being used to try to support it, like I'm assuming Masquerade is there for like webs, so like Victini can like really go off without having to like rely on like a scarf or something.
Yeah.
But I feel like there could be better web users.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, overall, it's like a fine team. I don't think there's anything really
Yeah.
wrong with it. But yeah, I guess we can move on to next team, which last of our bottom half is Gay Skeletor at ninth with Dragapult, Lando T, Terra Infernape, Terra Revavroom, Blastoise, Mega Mawile, Hisuian Qwilfish, Zarude, and Chimecho, which actually came week 1, which shocked me. I did not expect that big to come at all. It's like, I mean, it's a decent Bolt team. Like, it has good breakers, good pivots. It's just like a Bolt. It's kind of boring, but it does what it does. I don't get the Terra Infernape. I don't think it's a good Terra user, surprisingly enough. It just doesn't really work that well. I would much rather the Lando get the Terra or the Zarude. Actually, I really wish the Zarude would have gone over Infernape, but even though I know we priced Zarude very highly because I love that mon. But yeah, overall, I think it's good. It's nothing like insane. My big issues with it was like team is pretty physical. Like I guess outside Polt in Special Infernape, so that's kind of like annoying. Things to invest a lot of BizDev. And Mega Mall is kind of relied on defensively for some things because like dragons usually bust past Revavroom, and same with Mawile. And surprisingly enough, like offensive rock types kind of just click buttons here. And Mawile is kind of the stopgap for those, which is an ideal situation you want your Mawile to be in. But overall, it's a good team, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. It feels really, for lack of a better word, like I looked at this team and it felt like standard, if that makes
Oh yeah,
sense.
there's a very standard team. I
Like
agree.
nothing really like came at me and it was like, oh, like this would be crazy, blah blah blah. And I also agree about the Infernape Terramon. I'm not sure if that's like the best one you'd want to use on this team. Um like it's not wrong, and I'm assuming there's a lot of great options you can do with it. But I don't know, I feel like it's a little lackluster. Um I did really like Terra Reverum though, just because of the setup potential that it can have. But yeah, I also feel like, here, let me double check my notes.
You're good.
Yeah, a little, I guess for me, it felt a little lacking defensive wise.
I can see
Like
that.
you said,
Yeah.
offensive rocks just gonna go crazy on this team with like ground coverage and maybe like, yeah, no, like ground coverage and
Grounds are kind of
nothing
annoying.
really wants to take.
If like Lando or Zarude get weakened, which they very much can be.
Yeah, yeah, like Edgequake is pretty good, or Power Gem, Earth Power. Like,
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because Lando doesn't really have that recovery. Is the thing on this team, and Zarude doesn't always have the slots for synthesis or jungle healing.
no, I feel like it gets worn down, and once it gets worn down, like it's there's not much it can do to like recover itself back up.
Yeah, I would say agree on that. Yeah, I think the team's pretty good overall. Like, it has a couple holes, but I think it's a pretty solid pull team.
Yeah, agreed,
Alrighty,
agreed.
on to eighth place, we have Chungus, who I had very well, Ricky had very high. So why don't you start with why you like this team so much?
Oh yeah, for this one, I don't know. I just really liked the offense on this one. Um and I also liked let me double check, because Chungus actually had like a little asterisk next to um the Terras. I Terra Hydreigon seems like a great option. Terra Mantine, I don't know. I'm sorry, Chungus. I'm not sure if that's the choice I would have made personally. And I'm assuming there's like, if you want to get rid of its flying typing to make it like more water resistant, or
I guess like
like less weak
ground
to
is a
freeze
pretty good
dry.
typing on it. I guess.
But I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the Terras, but I did like its the removal options on this. It's very like it supports pretty well. I feel like the goal of this team is to try to kind of help Great Tusk or Slowking Yeller or Hydreigon kind of set up. And I guess for me, what I really liked about that is, well, it has like good breakers and like good strong lower tiers. to support the higher tiers in their like attempts to set up like late in game or later in the game.
Yeah, I
Like
get
you have to get through like Rotom, Excavalier, Ambipom,
yeah,
Clefable.
I can see what you're saying on all that. I guess for
But
me
yeah,
personally, it's like I'm not as high on Terra Hydra. Like it's fine, but I don't love it. And I feel like Mantine is a really poor secondary Terra, even though Tough did work with it last season. I still don't think it's great. Um, Another thing is like, here's the word again, no spikes, but like a lot of these mons, like Arrow especially, really wants that support, as does Hydra. This year is a lot of things that are kind of like frustrating for me. I think the mons are fine, but like no priority outside Fake Out, which like I guess Ambit Bomb Fake Out's cool, but like, then you're bringing Ambit Bomb, so like that's rough. Bulky grounds kind of see on this team, like Mudsdale, for example. Like I don't see how this team breaks that down. Like a fat Mudsdale just like kind of sits on the entire draft. That's like Terra Dragon Dracos maybe. And also after your High Dragon blows its Terra, Ghosts kind of smoke you. But I'm probably underrated a bit. I just don't love a lot. I think this team is just missing a lot of the things that I really look for in Gen 9 specifically. Like, don't think the team is bad, just doesn't really reach what I would look for.
no, that's fair. I like I said, I put like a little asterisk on that one because I felt like I was over kind of ranking it a little bit.
I may have
Um,
underranked it though.
but yeah, it seemed I guess at the time like it had potential to kind of help support um I guess like Great Tusk and Slow King and Hydreigon
I definitely get
to
what you're
kind of
saying
like
there, yeah.
but yeah, I think I might have overranked it,
I might
but
have played a little low. I don't know. It just doesn't really. It just feels weird to me. Something felt off. I'm not sure what.
fair. But yeah,
Sorry, I'm old. I've been doing this for a while.
yeah,
We're good.
this is the last one, right?
Yeah, it's the last time. It's been a long day, but anyway. Let's move on to number 7, who is Black, who we both put at 7. Very funnily enough. Um, Black 117. Ha ha ha. Funny joke. Please laugh. Please
Oh
clap.
wow, all the
Please clap. I am
sevens.
Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush. Anyway, um, this team is. I mean, it's a Black team. It's fat.
Yeah,
Has some breakers. Has some speed. I don't get the bomb 4 picks. It's a Black team. I don't know. I really like it. Like, it's very solid. It's his play style. He'll use it well. Um, weirdly enough, he has no encore on this team, which I think is the most broken move this generation. So that's surprising to me. Um, I wish there was a way to remove items other than the Beedrill itself, because Beedrill hates helmets. So if you have secondary Knockmon to get rid of those, it would really enable Beedrill more, which is something I was looking for. I don't know, like I just really like this team. I think it's really good. Um, Lacking a bit on physical offense outside Beedrill, because Flareon doesn't count and Tinglu doesn't really count. I guess you can invest in it if you want to. I know it's just really good. It's a Black team. It's fat, has speed, has offense, has weird low tiers. It's Black. What else is there to say?
I wholeheartedly agree. I saw this team and I was like, yep, that's him.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
the most. We just know his style by now.
I will say I'm not a fan of that Perugly being his secondary Terramon.
I don't think it
Um,
costed anything, but even then, like I don't get it. I would rather use those points and like maybe get rid of the Purple entirely and give like a Sylveon maybe the Terra instead.
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I just read a Jake's comment.
Yes, looks like Wish Flareon secures at least 3 moves. Yeah, I can see it. I would not be shocked.
But yeah, no, it's definitely fat. It definitely fits his play style. I can see him running a lot of lefties on these mons to kind of like. Well, we already know how he plays. He likes to sit.
He's
He
going
likes
to
to wear
slow.
down.
We know
He
how
likes
Black
to
plays, and it's a very Black team, and I don't really see many flaws with it.
no. Overall, pretty good. I guess for me, I guess the I will agree the knockoff like Beedrill, it's gonna most of its moves are all like contact physical, and if you're only relying on him to remove the items, it kind of
Yeah,
hurts
that's
to.
one of the things I noticed. It was like this team doesn't support Beedrill very well outside. I guess sure has removal, but like it just doesn't support the other problems with Beedrill.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a good team.
And
It's
then
not a good B drill team, is how I'd put it.
yeah, yeah, maybe like a different. I don't know.
A different mega or a different like elite speed might have been better on here.
Yeah, and then you can fix the. Duraludon's like okay. Dusclops, it's okay.
Pierogi is like Pierogi's the really weird one. I get why it's here. I don't like it. I understand it. It's here for like fake out and shit and being kind of fast. I get it, but it's not good. Please drop the Pierogi for something usable.
Yeah, I will say the top six though. It's
Very solid top
pretty
six.
good.
Really fat. Got decent breaker and Keldeo and decent cleaner and Latias. Like it's a black team.
Yeah, I can see him bringing the top six a lot though. I for him, I felt like I really liked that six. I felt like it fit his style a lot.
He'll use it well. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're kind of in circles, so let's move on to number 6, which is Lamaza, the one newcomer this season. I had this down towards the middle. You had it up towards the top. I guess as we've been doing, you can go first since you were the one who had it towards the top.
Yeah. Okay. So for this team, I really like its offense. Like this thing hits so hard. You have Darkrai, you have Mega Medicham, Scizor is crazy strong. I actually do like that it Cantera um gets in this gen that we're kind of like allowing hidden power to come back. It's kind of nice to see that like Scizor can like I don't know, even if it's just running like Terra Steel and it's boosting its after a sword stance, Terra Steel, Bullet Punch, it's gonna be hitting everything so hard. Um, and if you keep it kind of like late game, I feel like it kind of cleans up from there. As well as Terra Nihilego, I kind of saw the trend there of the quad weak Mons having that Terra. Um, so I'm assuming that's what they were for. That's what the goal was when he chose those Mons. I also felt like there was pretty good support from Togekiss. Gastro's pretty um, good in terms of like it comes in, it kind of sits, it can set up like it wants to like set up spikes or stealth rocks. I guess the one kind of weird mon for me was slacking, just because you already have Heliolisk as like a normal type, but I guess you wanted a bulky normal. Um, the speed tier kind of matches the same as Mega Medi, so I'm not sure if that's what it is. I don't see it coming personally. Um, and and yeah,
Yeah, I probably underrated this a bit. I am not a Terra Nihilego fan. I don't really get it, and I think Terra is fine, but I don't think it's amazing. That's like the only thing I really like. As I really was not a fan of the Terras. That's a big deal for me. I had like a couple more notes, but looking more at them, they don't really mean that much. The more I look at them, they're kind of pointless. I probably should rank this a bit higher. I didn't know it's like Brave Bird specifically is kind of an issue. Like physical flying's kind of smoked this team, but I definitely underrated this. Like this team, even though it looks kind of really fucking weird on paper, it's just a really good team. I probably should have ranked it higher. I don't have much else to say. Yeah, it's a good team.
yeah, I agree. I feel like overall it's solid. Um,
It's weird looking.
yeah,
I don't think that's deniable, but I think it functions well. Can't see a
yeah.
Terra so good is I don't believe in that moment. I could be, you know, could be proven
I
wrong.
mean, that's I can see why you would say that about Terra and Nihilego. I guess I don't know. I guess the hazard support's pretty good with it. I guess I was looking at it more of like a defensive Nihilego.
That's fine.
Um,
That will be interesting. Yeah.
but yeah,
I guess we can move on to the top 5.
let's go. Let's go. Let's do it.
We have at number 5. We have Zero, our reigning champion right now, with Terran Bundle, Garchomp, Goldingo, Superior, Terrayuxi, which was no extra cost. That's probably why I did it. Pheasantipity, Ampharos, Hisuian Arcanine, Bullen Persian, and Big Quaxwell. Let me see. Like I really like this team. I think all the I know I'm not saying good insightful things. Been doing this for so long. Like comments are terrible, but it's just like good mons. Like I don't really see many issues. Every mon serves a purpose. He's good hazards, good removal, good breaking, good cleaning. Like just don't really see many problems with it. I guess special ghost orb ability because your resist is Persian, and Persian gets worn down really fast by repeated shadow balls. So like a Blacephalon into this team would be kind of scary. Either like a Gengar or something like that, but I don't know if either of those were drafted. I don't know, I think it's solid. Ampharos that early is kind of weird, but I mean, if he wasn't worried about the airplane getting sniped, oh wait, he was on the wheel, wasn't he? Yeah, he was on the wheel, so I think he was on the wheel. So Ampharos, no, wait, no, Lamas was on the wheel. He was like next to the wheel. Ampharos, who's doing Arcanine, I guess those close here makes sense, but it still feels like a really early Ampharos to me. But if I think the team love good enough, I don't know. I think the team's just good. I don't think Quacks will ever come to a game that Pokemon is terrible. But, like the rest of the team's fine.
I guess for me, kind of, I would disagree with you on the removal aspect of it, because I believe the only removal he has is Superior and Quack's
Actually, I think
whatchamacallit,
we
that
should
little
wait.
duck.
Let me see. Oh yeah, there's a
Because
window.
I guess why I ranked it a little low is how, I guess, removal wise, it didn't really support Iron Bundle.
That's valid. Yeah,
Um,
I didn't. And
force it to kind of,
Mage Arcanine too. That's fair.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like default Superior, like it's good, it's solid. Like I can see that being really good and being brought pretty often. But I guess that kind of forces it more into like defensive sets, and maybe some weeks you want to run the, like, I don't know, like a Leaf Storm or contrary like Superior. But yeah, it feels like, I guess for me the removal was a big issue with this team. Um,
I can see
when
that. Yeah.
you
Sure.
yeah, I know it kind of caught me off guard because when I checked Fez and yeah, and like no defog, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, I feel like it should get it, but for some reason it doesn't.
No.
That's definitely weird. Yeah.
But otherwise than that, I feel like offensively, like there's a lot good writing on this team. I just ranked it a little lower just because of the, I guess, my feelings of lack of
Bash, unfortunately, I
removal to
cannot
support
because I do
top
not
off.
have a mic. My earbuds were not willing to connect to my computer today, so I'm using the desktop audio. My apologies if I'm kind of quiet. Nothing I can really do about it right now. Sorry, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point about the removal, though. I didn't really. It's a fair point. I didn't really catch. I probably should have caught that. I don't know. I didn't really think about, but I don't know. I feel like Superior's a decent enough remover. That's probably fine. But yeah, being shoehorned into that role is kind of unfortunate. Still think like it's a very good
Yeah.
team though overall.
Yeah, yeah. Other than that, like that was like my main criticism to the team. Other than that, I felt like it was a pretty good team.
Yep. Okay, and now on to number 4. We have Tenkai, who we both have pretty high and very high at number 2. So let's go into what I love about this team. Coco Moth is a really cool combination. I love Coco with Terra Moth. Quack is good. I mean, it's just a bunch of good mons. Like I don't. For once, I love you, Tenkai, but for once you did not ruin this draft halfway through. Which I know you are not. I know you will be mad at me for saying it, but you know I've seen your drafts. But like this top 5 is insane. Flygon kind of sucks, but Brandon's a good pick. Jugulus is a good pickup late. I don't really get the Terra double. It's kind of funny. I feel like double Flygon, Mr. Rhyme are probably never coming. But like the rest, the other 7 are fucking bonkers. And like you have solid removals again, solid removal, solid hazards, especially with Dio. Dio can. Yes, Tenka, that's exactly what it is. I've seen your TBC drafts, man. I've seen your TBC drafts. But yeah, yeah, this draft is just crazy. Like, it's really damn good, even with the free monster that are never coming to a damn game. Um, and my one issue was like I have like no skull switching because like your war resists are all physical. Is the one thing. You're right. I shouldn't be bringing that into this. It's like insulting my mother. I don't. I'll stop. I'll stop bringing it up. But like, this is a really
Damn.
good. This is a really fucking good draft. Like, I love this draft. It's, I said, the one thing I dislike like the skull switching thing, but like, other than that, I think this team's really damn good.
No, yeah, I definitely do agree with the skull switching. Also, I wasn't, I don't know, Terra double, I don't know, and as well as like, I guess Mr. Rhyme can come as like removal and stuff, but like you have Quaxel right there. Flygon,
Yeah,
Coco. I don't know. I feel like removal wise, it's like you don't really need
yeah,
Mr.
Mr. Rhyme's
Rhyme.
kind of weird here. I don't get it.
But
Shout out to Burning though. We
yeah, I
stand
really
Burning, but I don't get the Rhyme on this team.
yeah. And I feel like the synergy for this team is like insane. Like everything just goes really well together. I guess for me, like the reason I ranked it a little low was due to like I guess a little lower, despite being like a really great draft, is just kind of like the Terras. I feel like the speed is a little, I guess, a little lacking. I guess I looked at it and I was like, oh, like a Trick Room Mon kind of
I can see it. Yeah, it
abuse.
seems extremely fast, but Trick Room like specifically could be kind of annoying. But if you want to work, like could just run like Trick Room Dio to reverse it, which honestly could work because it's so fat.
Yeah, yeah. I just feel like that was like one of the threats that I could see this team potentially having. But like, you still have priority with like Mega Scissor, really good priority with that. So and like you said, there's Trick Room Deoxys. So I guess that comes down to prep and play. Um,
Yeah, but I know. I think the team's just really solid. Like there's a
yeah.
couple unmons on here, but that's every tank guy team. So like, and there are 7 are carrying it anyway.
Hey, watch Mr. Rhyme come in and calm mind sweep someone.
Please do. That would be amazing. One time I won a gaming a tournament off Mr. I'm freezing someone. I don't remember why I brought it, but it froze a mon. I think it froze 2 mons. That's how I won. So I guess I can't talk too badly on it. Still drowned in pools that tournament. But, it did something.
But yeah, overall, I personally really love this draft. Like this,
I'm
I
a big
saw it and I
fan.
was like, I would run this if I could.
I would
Like
love
if I
to
could
use
draft
this.
this, I
Just switch out the unmons for something viable. Like the rest of the team, I would love. Yeah, on to
agreed.
our top 3. We both had M3. We have Raysai, who we did see his first game, and this team's monstrous. I mean, Mega Diancie, Terra Bolt, Terra Weavile, which I think you picked is only like 1 point extra, which makes sense why you grab that. Wellspring, Ogerpong, Gliscor, Empoleon, Galar and Slowbro, Sableye, and Crabominable. I mean, wow. It's just a great team. Like, a bunch of really good Mons. Like, and that worked
Yeah,
well together. There's not much else to say. I want to get the
agreed. I feel
Crabominable,
like
but I guess Crabominable, Galar, and Slowbro is a funny Trick Room core, so sure, why not?
yeah, that was the one mon on the team that was like, like I guess there's a fighting to break steals, but
Yeah,
like
I
it's
know.
part ice, and I don't know. It was the one mon, but other than that, I really like this team. I feel like it synergizes well. I feel like it allows for such flexibility and versatility between a lot of mons. Like Mega Diancie doesn't have to be offensive every week, and it's perfectly fine doing that. Um, like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of superstars on this team, but they're not superstars that want to always hog the spotlight.
I agree. The amount of threats on this team that every single one you have to be ready for is a huge deal.
Exactly. And like I feel like it also gives you so much. I feel like it's a scary team to prep for.
I agree. Like there were a
Um
couple notes I had, like dragons that can push past and Empoleon are kind of annoying. Like a Garchomp is kind of frustrating to deal with on this team. Like EQ Scale Shot Liquidation SD kind of punches a hole, and then if it's like Yachi, it might be. It's like that's like one thing I noticed, and like the ghost switch isn't great because we buy and we've doesn't walk come in the first time she can have to sack something if it's a really strong ghost. Like, god damn, this team's crazy. These are like minor nitpicks at the end of the day.
yeah, they're just I don't know. I really like this team. I thought it was really great. I was actually um a big fan of Sableye here.
Oh yeah,
Um
I like Saved by a Law on this build. I think it provides a lot to the team. Just giving that little stopgap where it can, if you need it, it can come in and like just stop whatever BS is fucking you over, and then get out to like one of your other good mons to take advantage.
yeah, agreed. Like I can definitely see it coming to a good amount of games
Yeah, I can see it coming a
and
few
putting
times.
in
It's
on
not
this
like
book.
it's not one of those 4 pointers. It's like, oh, I don't have to think about it in prep. Like it's a real mon.
Yeah. Like you gotta worry about it. It's got fake out. It's got a
Prankster
lot of
Encore, which is the stupidest shit ever.
Yeah, it definitely helps anti setup as well, which I really like.
Yeah,
Um,
I really like this team. It's a bit odd when you first look at it, but when you really like put the pieces together, it makes a lot of sense.
agreed. But yeah,
I
we
guess
we both had the same thoughts on this one.
yeah,
So yeah,
I was very high, so I guess we'll get to our second place team, which is Bash, who you had as your favorite team in the whole division. I had it at 5, but I still think it's really good. Why don't we get started on why you had this as the top team in the whole division?
yeah, because this team is insane.
I
I
agree, it
personally feel
is. So you just had a lot of insane teams, which is why it's down at number 5 for me. But like, it is a crazy team.
yeah, like I feel like I personally really like it because it does everything pretty well. I feel like offensively, it's pretty insane. Defensively, you're pretty good. Like Donphan Fortress, Alolan Mug, Screamtail, even Golbat is fat as like,
It's
sorry, I
very bad.
wasn't gonna curse.
No, I don't care. It's my
Oh,
stream. I don't give a crap. I've been cursing all day. Say whatever you want.
fair. Um, sorry, I work with kids. It's like a mindset thing.
No, I get it. No, I get it. Dude, if you yeah, go. Don't do it. If you, yeah, and I didn't mean it that way.
All good, no worries. But yeah, it's got great options for hazards as well as removal. Um, I I don't know. I do like Terra Shaman, um, as well as
I'm
Terra
curious
Iron
how Terra
Boulder.
Shaman will do. I have not seen it very much. I'm very curious to see how it does.
Yeah, I feel like it has good potential. Um, uh, the only mon that I'm kind of like about would be like Glaceon,
Yeah, I
but
don't
even
think
then, it's not
Glaceon here.
bad.
Like the only thing I figured Glaceon is like maybe it looks like certain grass types could be a bit annoying for his team to break down. So I can see maybe that's why the Glaceon's on the draft. But other than that, I don't really get why it's here. But yeah, I love this draft.
Yeah,
I mean, my only next like certain grass types seem kind of annoying. Certain fairies could be a bit annoying if Muck has a bad
Tangrowth
matchup.
or something. But
Like
even
Muck
then,
having to break down like your like that's like your best way to break down like a Clefable, which isn't ideal. But like it's these are again the minorest of nitpicks. This team is wild. Like it's really good. I don't look at the Fortress on this team, but I actually need a steel type, so like sure. But it feels very superfluous to Domphin when you order a spinner. I feel like you could have probably found some better steel type than that, but I didn't look at the board at the time. I don't know. I feel like Fortress, Golbat, Glaceon are not the best picks. I feel like you could have consolidated that into something a little better. But again, that's like the Myers the big the top. Every moment here is really solid. I love this team. It's great, and I don't think I fight it. But if I know I do. Bash mentioned be on schedule. I'm not looking forward to fighting this. This team's gonna be AIDS.
yeah, I will say it also. I feel like it does a good job of like. There's a lot of things that Palafin can switch out, and it can like the next mon that comes in, like it. Palafin can switch out into a lot of things. I personally feel like, which is I feel like a good essential to have
That's very
for.
important, pal. But you need things you can pivot out to. I agree.
But yeah,
Yeah, just
I know,
really
it's
well constructed Palafin team. Boulder be on there. It's just I like Palvin Boulder on IOP. It's a really cool core. I like the idea of that.
agreed. And then you have like the Annihilate that like like once you deal with like those two, you have like this beast just kind of like standing in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. I really like this team for all the things that it can do.
Yeah, this team is very solid. Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
guess we should move on to the first.
yeah. Just give me one second. I had to pull up a game. Let's play to get the stats value here. Anyway, our first ranked team, the one who's left, obviously, and he had a very solid first game of the season, getting a big home 5-0, I think. Actually, I don't, and I think it was a 3-0, but he got 5. I don't remember. Anyway, it's Mick. Holy shit, this team. Now, this is how you build a Sneasler team, people. Stop getting dog shit Waylay and draft Rillaboom. Like, holy fuck. Terra Sneasler. This is kind of like my team was in WBF. This is where I had Terra Sneasler. I had Terra Blood Moon, but obviously we banned that here. And this is kind of like what I wanted to draft in WBF, but I got sniped out like half this shit. But Terra Sneasler, Ursula, Blood Moon, Rillaboom, Terra Jirachi, Hisuian Samurai, Comfey, Regieleki, Aerodactyl, and Purplup. The bottom two don't matter, but the top 7 is insane. Regieleki's bad, but it's still really fucking good on this team. This team just kills grounds for days. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember what notes I had. Oh yeah, like my one note, like this team kind of doesn't like fighting types, but like Comfey switches into most of them fine, so like you'll be okay. This team's just wild. I don't know what else to say. Prim Pup's kind of shitter, but there are 8 I really like.
I mean, there's always going to be one Mon, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know. Priplo, I feel like can still have its merits.
It has its
But
matchups. It has its point. It has a reason to exist.
yeah, but like you have a Samurott right there, so it's like your water. I feel like Samurott kind of covers a lot.
I guess,
Aside
but
from
like
like if you
Samurai doesn't
defog
always
or
want to be bulky, so I get it. Like this team is just
agree.
insane. Like it has good offense, it has good defense. Like Blood Moon is fat, Robin keeping it healthy. Rachi's a good bulky mon. Comfort. Like, this team's
You
just
know how
really
much I
good.
love Boomer, and this
It
is such a
looks kind
good
of
Boomer
weird
team.
on paper because the bomb free are kind of ass, but it like they're good enough and they have a purpose. It's just a great team.
Yeah,
Like very well done, Mick. This is one of the best teams I've seen you draft, like by a large margin.
I very much agree. I love Boomer, and I think Boomer and Ursaluna Blood
I
Moon is
love this
just the
trio. This top 3 is so good. Like they just pair so beautifully together. And then getting that round 5 Hisui and Samurai. How the hell do we let Hisui and Samurai get to round 5? I don't know. Not my fault. I took the ninja round 3, so I can't be blamed for this. But what the hell were the rest of you doing?
yeah, and also Comfey with the I feel like it's gonna be a pain to kill this thing,
Yeah,
just because
Company's really well supported on this team. I agree.
yeah, just overall I feel like it synergizes really well. It provides good like Samurot's it's clicking ceaseless edge for days with this
Oh
team,
yeah, this
and
team is
everybody's gonna like love it.
yeah, this team has
It's
great like on what is it like knockoff support too, which opens up demands, which is something I think is really important in this generation. Yeah, like this
yeah.
team's just great.
Also, I found it really funny that the first ranked team faced the 16th ranked team,
That is
week
true.
one.
And then this is the first ranked team won. Unlike in was it in night where I think we had like the 15th team beat the first team that oh yeah, 15th team beat the first. I haven't watched the replay yet, but the 15th place team beat the first place team in that division.
I haven't seen that match yet,
Yeah,
but
it happened during PR, so I haven't watched yet.
oh, I see, I
Meta
see,
just
I
mentioned
see.
it in chat, but yeah, this is good, like really good team. And I guess that'll wrap up our PR series. I did not make a final slide. I probably should have, but anyway, thank you everyone for joining us. This was a lot of fun. Doing 6 divisions. I am very tired now, but
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. Hopefully next season we can do it again. Next season will probably be on YouTube instead of Twitch because that's what people preferred, but I couldn't figure it out in time. I will get the VOD up. I'll probably start uploading tonight. It'll upload overnight because I am not staying up till 1 a.m. for to wait for it to get all the way uploaded. But this was a ton of fun. I guess we're gonna hop off. Have a good night, everyone.
y'all take care. It was
Have a
nice
good night,
chatting with
everyone.